It's not a good day to be a bad guy.
What's up, metalheads? This is Wayne.
And Michelle.
And we are from the Michigan UFO Sightings and Paranormal Encounters podcast. And you are listening to
Burton and Aaron on the Lost in the Dark podcast.
Raise your horns. Lost in the dark.
Welcome back, Crypt Crew. Thank you so much for joining us on this one. We are back for the Christmas special. This is the Christmas special. We got a special one lined up for you guys tonight. We had a couple call-ins. We had the first time ever. We had a couple call-ins. We got a great, crazy, full circle fan call-in, and we got we got a band call-in. We got a brother, Aaron from Victims of the System, calling in as well. So very excited to get out to that. But first up, as always, let's run through some shout outs real quick. As always, our brothers from Wisconsin, the Dipping Milk in Cookies podcast. Join host Garrett the Cookie Commander Smith and Mike the Master Milker Segovia as these two best friends try to figure out this thing we call life using friends, guests, and microphones. And it's absolutely worth every ounce of your time, and check it out. It's an amazing podcast. They do segments on there, some amazing segments like the question of the week, where they ask a question on the Facebook. Join their Facebook group. They ask a question in there, and if you reply, they'll read your answer on the air and give you a shout out. Also, the Master Milkers Mysterious Mysteries is an amazing segment where they get into the paranormal side of things. That always excites me. And they're just amazing guys. So everybody be sure to check out all things Dipping Milk in Cookies podcast. Next up, you heard them at the top of this episode. They did that amazing read for they did that amazing intro read for us. Coming to you from the glacial dumping grounds known as the Michigan Basin. Wayne and Michelle are a Michigan-based husband and wife educator and podcasting duo that examine UFOs and other paranormal topics within Michigan and beyond. Topics include UFOs, the paranormal conspiracy theories, Bigfoot, alternative history, the Michigan Dogman, Bigfoot, cryptids, and all things strange and paranormal. Everybody be sure to check out all things the Michigan UFO Sightings and Paranormal Encounters podcast. They just kill it every single time. I think they just released episode 22 where they had a psychic medium on. It was absolutely a fascinating conversation. They said they're going to have her back, which I cannot wait for. But that's the thing about this podcast for me personally as a fan. It's the gift that keeps giving. It's every single episode I find someone new that I was either semi-familiar with or hadn't really heard of before, and I end up every single time I follow every single one of their guests on social media, their YouTubes. It gives me a whole new rabbit hole to go down every single time without question. And they're absolutely some of the coolest people I've ever met through doing this podcast. They give us shout outs all the time. We did a read for them. They did a read for us. We've been on each other's shows many times, and we will more in the future for sure. But they're just fucking another great Michigan podcast. So if you're into the paranormal at all, definitely check out the Michigan UFO Sightings and Paranormal Encounters podcast with Wayne and Michelle. It is quite a trip. And like I said, it's only on episode 22. So you get in now, you get out on the ground floor, you get to watch them grow more and more. They have grown exponentially in the time they've been doing it. And they do have a wonderful Facebook group of the same name, Michigan UFO Sightings and Paranormal Encounters podcast Facebook group. And lots of people are in there, and they're reporting sightings. They're posting pictures. It's really a great, wonderful group of people and experiencers and lots of great stories. So everybody be sure to check that out. One more time, it's the Michigan UFO Sightings and Paranormal Encounters podcast. Yow. Next up, we got a couple quick band shout outs. First up, another Wisconsin family, Casket Robbery, absolutely one of the meanest fucking bands going right now. They just released a brand new track and an amazing music video where it's all like stop motion claymation kind of shit, called Bone Mother, and it will rip the bones out of your body. It is a neck breaker. It is a monster of a fucking track, and I fucking love it. I am always excited for everything they have coming out, and fingers big time crossed. I was supposed to see him a couple times this year. Things happened, but fingers big time crossed that they'll come back to Michigan here in the next year, and I'll get to see them play again. I've seen them a couple times, but I cannot fucking wait to see them again and meet them in person and have them back on the show. I got to reach out. It's been too long. So Casket Robbie, if you're seeing this, I'm going to hit you up soon. Everybody be sure to check out all things Casket Robbery. Next up, and last but never, ever, ever, ever least, this is a band that I listen to get hyped up to do this show, like every time we do one, pretty much. I'm talking about A Suffocating Lie. Our brothers from mostly California, but now they're a bit more spread out. Originally California. When we first talked, at least, but now they're a bit more spread out. But these guys mean the world to me. Trevor and Rich are the ones that I know, and but everyone in that band is just an absolute fucking monster at what they do. The music they put together just gets me so fucking hype every time. It's just some of the biggest breakdowns that I've heard since like Parkway fucking Drive first came out. Like, it's just, they're amazing. They're absolutely amazing. And Rich, actually, the vocalist, has just announced that he has a little bit of a solo project being released soon. So I'll throw a link. Actually, yeah, I'll throw a link in the description below to his social media so you can follow him. And I'm really, really excited to see what he does with his solo stuff. So, and I think that's coming out next month here. But yeah, everybody be sure to check out all things A Suffocating Lie. And without further ado, my friends, that's going to do it for the shout outs. We're going to get into this episode. The first call we got up is Aaron from Victims of the System, and then the other one is really, really wild for Aaron and I. These are two people. It's synchronicity. It's a full circle. Two guys who we just saw moshing in a pit once and talked about it on one of our very early episodes. And they found us. They like listened to the episode and they found us. They reached out. They ended up being, like I said earlier with Wayne and Michelle, Michigan UFO Sightings Paranormal Encounters podcast. They're a husband-wife educator and podcasting duo. They are teachers. They are teachers in down in the Detroit area. And these two people we saw in the pit happened to be some of their students. And we finally got them on the show and to talk a little bit, and it was quite a trip. So I'm very excited for you all to see it. Without further ado, raise your fucking horns. I hope you all have an amazing, are having amazing holiday season. And this is going to be the last one for 2021. That's what year it is, right? Last year doesn't count, so it's like weird. But yeah, this is gonna be the last one for 2021. The first one in 2022 is gonna be, of course, this year's Filthy 15 album of the year list. Aaron and I got to get in on that, and then we got a couple more things planned, but then I'm gonna start reaching out to a whole lot of people to see when they want to come back on. So we got a lot coming in 2022. This is gonna be it for the year. Thank you all, everyone that has watched anything we've done this year. You mean the fucking world to me. But without further ado, here it is, everyone. Our Christmas special. Raise your horns. Happy fucking holidays, Crip Crew. We're back.
What up?
Oh, we're back for a holiday special. Look at this.
Oh, yeah.
Look at us. We're all decked out. We're ready for the holiday special. It's
gonna be a different one.
It's gonna be quite different.
Yeah.
We don't really know what's gonna happen here. We put out a call.
Well, that's not different. Well,
that's true.
Everything else is.
That's true.
Format's different, but we still don't know what the fuck we're doing.
We rarely know what the fuck we're doing. But we did put out a call for everyone on all of our social media about 2 days ago to see if anybody would be willing to call in to the show live and tell us just a quick like ghost story or Christmas story and just give us a few minutes. Last year, though, our thinking was last year we celebrated the Christmas special with our family. And so this year we were like, well, why don't we do it? And sadly, we had this idea fairly late, but we were like, why don't we do it with our Lost in the Dark friends? Because what's more important on the holidays than getting drunk and high with your friends and family? Like, okay. What's more important than that? Speaking of which, cheers, my fucking brother.
Hey. Oh, yeah.
Thank you. Oh, here we go. Oh, Buffalo Soldier.
What's that shit?
All right. Ooh. So we already do, to start things off. Jesus Christ, that's good.
Right.
To start things off, we do have a call
Bite.
to get started. So I am going to be sorry, everyone. I may be checking my phone a little bit more often during this one because I'm trying to keep in contact with people that may want to call in. And I'm trying to orchestrate all of this. This is the first time we've ever tried anything like this, but we do have a call ready to come in right now. And let's just see what happens when I admit it. Let's see. We'll see what happens. Here we go. I might have to edit some of this out, but that's okay. Because we're doing this all on the fly.
We're calling an iPhone.
Well, here's the thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's give some backstory real quick because this is pretty cool.
This is pretty cool. This is pretty cool for us. This is kind of a full circle moment, if you will, for us on the show. Now, I put out the call to everybody in the Crypt crew, all fans and everybody that's ever been on the show that wanted to be on. This one is a fan who we have talked about before. This individual, I cannot for the fucking life of me remember what show it was. Hopefully they do.
Yeah.
We were, you and I were at a show at St. Andrews Hall. Was it Parkway? I don't know.
It was either yeah, Parkway, Thayer, to Behemoth, honestly.
Yeah,
one of those three.
It had to have been one of those.
Yeah.
Except
there we go.
what up?
Hey.
What up?
How you doing?
How's it going, guys? Can you guys hear us?
Yeah.
All right, fantastic. I can hear you. I just want to make sure I got the volume all the way up and everything. So we're getting a good recording.
DIY, baby.
DIY till we die. All right, so you got Aaron and I here. What up? What up? There we go.
Hey.
What's up? We've been all right. I've been doing okay.
All
How
right.
you guys been doing?
Excellent.
Awesome.
Excellent, man.
Yeah.
So I know before we get started real quick, I know we got Jordan here. What's your name, man?
My name's Jackson.
Jordan and Jet. You gotta
Jordan.
be fucking kidding me.
That's weird.
That's
really weird.
That's really weird. One of my best friends in the world's name is Jordan Jackson. First and last name. That's super weird. All right. Aaron, why don't you put the that microphone a little bit more in the middle? We'll put both of them in the middle a little bit, and then we'll just do kind of. It'll sound like shit, but fuck it.
Hey, whatever.
Yeah,
All right. All right.
Good to finally have you guys on. Talk to you guys, man.
Yeah.
Since God, 2019.
Okay. So yeah, here. Well, all right. Here. 1, 2, 3. Starting now. There we go. All right. So right now we got Jordan and Jackson of Michigan on the show. These guys now this is kind of a crazy moment for Aaron and I. It's a very full circle moment in a big crazy way because how you guys found it. Like we don't even know yet really how you guys found us. We were at a show. We saw you guys losing your shit in the pit. And then we talked about you on the podcast because we always like reviewed concerts that we went to and stuff.
Yeah.
And then you guys ended up finding us somehow. Like, how did you even find us?
The crazy part is the first time it was like an accident. My friend sent me a link because we was just scrolling by on YouTube, just looking at the live videos from the concert. And we just found you all. And then the crazy part is one of my teachers actually did an interview with y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. No. Yeah. And that was the next part of it. Okay. So do you guys happen to remember what show that was?
That was which one? With my teacher?
No,
where we first saw you guys.
That would be with Cannibal Corpse and Direct Murder.
That's what we thought. That's what we thought.
Figured
Yep.
it was one of those.
That's what we thought. We just saw these two. We just saw you guys losing your shit in the pit. And we were like, those kids are fucking awesome. And this was a point in time too. It was long before we were ever on video or anything. And I don't even think I mentioned you guys until like over an hour into the episode. I was like, who the fuck even listens to us? And then I saw this comment of we were the dudes in the pit. I was like, no fucking way. And then like 4, 5, 6 months later, something like that, I found the Michigan UFO Sightings and Paranormal Encounters podcast with Wayne and Michelle. And Aaron and I were on an episode. It was actually on Aaron's birthday that we were on an episode of theirs. And then like a couple weeks later, Wayne messages me saying that one of Michelle's students said that we had talked about you on a podcast, and I immediately knew who it was. I knew it was you guys, and it just blew me away. It was the crazy dude. We've been doing this thing for like almost 4 years now, and that is the craziest shit that's ever happened. Like that is having you guys find us and then like talking to your teachers. The fact that they're your teachers is insane. They're awesome. Yeah. So all right. So yeah, we're having, so it's really awesome to finally get to talk to you guys. This is really kind of like a full circle moment for us in a big bad way.
Yeah.
Do you guys have a Christmas or a ghost story that you'd like to share with us?
Yeah, we have a story. I would say about 2019, right after the concert, we had this old band that's not really together anymore, but it was just a bunch of our friends, and trying to remember exactly what we did, but it was we just gave each other a bunch of gifts. One of our guitars gave him an old guitar. That was fun.
Yeah, it was he didn't have he told me that he didn't think he was getting a guitar for Christmas, and I felt really bad about that because ever since I was little, I've always got guitars for Christmas and stuff, and I know how much it meant to me. And I got this one guitar. It was an Epiphone Les Paul Mark II. It was a pretty guitar too. It was all black with silver hardware and stuff. And he came over to my house one day before this whole thing happened, and he played that guitar. And I had it in, I played some Slayer riff for him or something, and he just fell in love with the guitar. And I met up with Jackson right here in the call, and I told him, you know what, I'm going to give him that guitar. So I took it over to his house the day before we did this, and I cleaned it up, put the strings on it and stuff, tuned it up, wrapped it, put it under the tree. And yeah.
Let me tell you too, that wrapping job that sucked. That was atrocious. It looks like
if you put a set of latex gloves on a kangaroo and made it take a bong rip, then spin around in a circle 3 times.
Yeah.
Sounds like some of my rapping jobs, man.
Put latex gloves on a kangaroo. That's fucking amazing. That's amazing.
Well, what a wholesome story, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Like, has he played since? Like, are you guys still talking stuff?
Yeah. I swear.
Yeah.
They put the tape on that box too, and it took him like 10 minutes to open. That was.
The best part about this is Jackson here has a niece, and I told
Paw Patrol. It was Paw Patrol rap.
Jacob, a friend I gave a guitar to, that was getting him a guitar, and he was all excited. I found this little pink plastic guitar, and I put it in a real guitar box. And I wrapped that up. And I said, "Here you go, man." And he unwrapped it to find a Barbie, pretty pink glitter guitar that was only about a foot long or something like that. And we just
Pretty sure I still got that somewhere.
had a big laugh out of that. And then I said, "Okay, man." Then I took him over to the closet, as weird as that sounds.
Give him the real one.
So
It's just,
are you guys in a band?
We used to be, yes.
we was. My mom and my dad died when I was real little, and I lived in Michigan with my sisters. And long story short, I got into some legal trouble over there. and I came down here to Kentucky in a place called Harlan County, and now that's where I live.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so kind of like a split. So
Yeah.
trying to get stuff back together, but not quite yet.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. What okay, so what are your instruments?
I play drums.
Hey, oh yeah.
There's a drummer right
There
there.
you go.
And guitar.
Guitars.
Beautiful.
Nice.
So yeah, both of you're just like us. Like Aaron plays drums, I play guitar.
Yeah.
What's your you said
I
said
think I remember you guys outside of the show.
probably.
Sorry.
What's your favorite guitar that you've ever played?
Me?
Ooh, that's a good.
God. I've always been a huge Pantera fan.
Hell
And I
yeah.
found this guitar. Yeah. And I played this one guitar, and it was Dean ML, Dime Slime,
Ooh.
and I just fell in love with it.
Yo, the Dime Slimes are amazing. Those are
I
amazing.
love the Floyd Rose system they got in them.
Yep. Absolutely.
But now let's see. We was huge fans of Korn, so of course I had to buy a 7-string.
There you go.
But so I'd say the 7-string's gonna have to be my favorite now.
Nice.
Oh yeah. Well, that extended range.
Hell yeah. Do you guys well, I gotta ask, this is the first time you guys have been on. Do either of you have any experiences in your lives that either of you would describe as paranormal?
Paranormal.
Yeah. It's
I don't have it.
like I said, when I was real little, my mom died of cancer, and I lived in this duplex in Michigan, and not sure if you've heard of it, Westland.
Yeah.
I was actually born very close to Westland, so yeah.
Yeah, and it was like a week after my mom died, and she died of cancer, so she had a hospice bed in the living room, and I would notice weird things like the covers of her bed, because we sat in there. It was like no one was even in the house, and it was like the covers kept moving. I find that real weird.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah.
That's pretty wild. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm just messing everything up over here.
So have you guys been to any shows since this year?
Yes, actually.
Yes. We went and seen Signs of the Storm, In Fury, and Shadow of Intent.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was the shelter in January.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That was a fun time.
Yeah.
I
I
knew.
remember exactly when the day was. It's like January
It
21st.
was.
Mm.
Yeah, staged out for the first time, and
Oh
my
yeah.
ribs crushed by some fat girl in the pit.
Well, you guys were tearing it the fuck up at the show that we saw you
Yeah.
at. You guys were destroying. So
I'd like to think so.
The pit at the other show, that was crazy. We couldn't even really survive in that one.
Yeah, not sure if you've heard of Signs of the Storm.
oh yeah.
Oh dude.
Maybe you haven't.
Oh
They got a song called
we're very familiar with that.
Nightcrawlers.
Yeah.
Yep.
And when the breakdown in that song happened, it was all chaos. These dudes that maybe looked 5 foot tall, 5'5", turned into like 7 foot beasts, and they were just tall, and it was scary. We had to move back to the end of the crowd because like I said, that girl fell on my leg,
Yeah, he hurt me
and I was
bad.
hobbling on one leg. It was still an awesome time.
Oh yeah.
That was the last show we went to together.
Yeah.
That newest Signs of the Swarm album is crazy. I don't know if you guys have heard it yet. Absolver.
The new one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys
I'm
got.
not much of a fan of their new singer. I think CJ was better in my opinion, but
Okay, yeah. I mean,
That new dude, he does a good job though.
yeah. They're kind. I don't know. They're pretty similar, I guess I'd say. CJ's got a little more of the guttural stuff going on, but
Yeah.
you guys got a favorite album of the year that came out this year?
Do what?
Do you have a favorite like release this year? Favorite album of this year?
Okay, now say it again. My phone just
So, no,
lagged.
you're good. Favorite do you guys have a favorite album of the year so far?
Album of the year.
Yeah,
Let me think about that one.
there's a lot.
I don't know. What's
Favorite what?
new album of the year? Like, what's your favorite album of the year?
God, that's a hard one.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't really think of. Let me think.
Hold up. I was just listening to it.
You guys are having about as hard of a time as we are putting this list together.
Yeah. Every year we do an album of the year list, and we're having a tough time this year.
It seems like since Discord's been on the scene and stuff, it seems like there's always a new competition every year who can get heavier.
Yeah, that's been a thing as long as metal has existed. Really, like
Yeah.
it's
Sure.
the evolution of it.
It seems to be like
You got. I mean, what are some of the ones we got? We got Whitechapel.
Yeah, we
I don't
got
know what's weird,
Whitechapel, Lorna
my favorite
Shore.
album this year is by a band called Drowning Sulfur. It's called Sulfur Kill.
Okay.
John Sulfur. Yeah, I've heard of
All
them.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're into them deep
Yeah.
cuts, bro. Have either of you ever really listened a lot to Children of Bodom?
Yeah,
Not really, but I've heard some of their songs.
I've heard glimpses of their songs, but I'm not a diehard fan.
You might want to check them out, being a guitar player.
I'll check
Yeah.
them
That's all
out.
I'll say.
I'll check them out for sure.
Yeah.
Got a certain song in mind.
Well, to start with what's
I would start with Are You Dead Yet?
that album, and
Yeah,
then
all right.
just
yeah.
all
Aren't
of
they, black metal.
Not really.
yeah. The
There's
more
black in the elements, but not really. It's
So,
more
like-
symphonic neoclassical style metal, sort of.
So it's like that one band my teacher's husband was in. What's its name?
Oh shit! No,
Oh.
no, I know what you're talking about. I know who you're talking about, but not quite. It's a little bit more melodic than that,
yeah,
Yeah, I gotta ask, how'd you find them?
dude.
they found us.
No,
I think, or no. Yeah,
I did,
sorry.
I did kind of find them a little bit. It was their podcast popped up on my Facebook. Like it was like they had like a sponsored ad or whatever on Facebook, and it was like episode 3 or something like that, and it was about the Michigan Dog Man, which is like one of my favorite cryptids. And I was like, and I read the title of the name of the podcast, how it was Michigan UFO study. I was like, okay, a Michigan UFO podcast, and they have an episode about Dogman. I'm definitely checking that out. And like there were only like 3 or 4 episodes in, and I was like, I've got some stories. So I shot them an email, and a couple of weeks later we were on the show. And since then we've been on their show. They've been on our show. We did a couple of crossover episodes. I can't wait I haven't met them in person yet, but I really look forward to it. And they have a great podcast, and they're great people, man. They're really
Yeah, it was weird when my teacher was telling me about this. Yeah, the lady that does it, I can't even remember my teacher's name.
Michelle.
I remember her. Yeah, Michelle. I remember her talking in class about how her husband was in a death metal band and all this.
Yeah.
And I was so interested by it. And then she said that she had a podcast coming up, and I asked what her podcast was, and she said her podcast, and you guys were doing a podcast together. And I said, no way. And she said, "Are you okay?" Yeah. Yeah, and
Such a small world.
Dude.
Yeah.
No,
and
that blew my mind. Like when I got the email from Wayne saying that Michelle had students that knew who we were, I as I was reading the email, I was figuring out who he was talking about. I realized it was you guys.
Yeah, because
And I got like the craziest goosebumps ever, dude. I was like, oh my God. I texted Aaron immediately. I was like, you're never gonna fucking believe this. Like, this is crazy.
yeah, you gotta thank him.
Wow.
Is this Aaron with you right now?
Yeah, right there.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, we were together when we saw you guys in the pit. We were the ones on that episode. Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah.
It was weird finding out that teacher because she taught English, and I was going to her class.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh.
he's lagging out a bit. That's okay. But yeah, she did teach. She is an English teacher. Yeah, that is very true. Yeah.
That does blow my mind.
That was probably my only inspiration to come to school was for that teacher.
Oh, well, that's awesome.
Yeah, but you guys like paranormal stuff, right?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Where I live now, it's called Harlan, Kentucky,
I've heard of it.
and there's some paranormal stories about this town. This town is it's a redneck town, to say the least. Like I really do go to mullet. And
Hell yeah, rock it, bro.
and there's a story of Harlan because this used to be a coal mining town and whatnot. And when there was all these people, there was murders. There was just a bunch of murders that happened here, and it was called Bloody Harlan. They still call it Bloody Harlan.
Really?
There's a bridge up in our town, and they call it the Bloody Harlan Bridge. And there's murders like crazy. They said 85% of the murders that happened here were undiscovered, and were only told by the families of the murderers.
Wow.
And I'd really like y'all to check it out.
Harland? Harland?
Harlan.
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 Harlan. Okay. Yeah, no, I'll definitely look into that. Yeah, no, that's
Yeah.
Kentucky has a few places that's a very big one on my list. There's a few places there that I badly want to investigate in terms of like ghost stuff. So yeah, I'll look into that for sure.
I do a thing, they call it ginseng. It's a plant that's naturally grown in the woods, and you can dig it for money. And I've stumbled upon a few like old Indian graveyards and stuff. And I found it real interesting about it. Probably shouldn't share this. The place I live, Bob's Creek, there's a hill in the field down the road from me. And they say there was a chief named Bob, and they say that there's a hill up on the side of the hill on a certain time of year, a certain time, when the light's shining just right. There's a door that unlocks, like not unlocks, but opens to an ancient tomb. That's what the old timers have told me about here.
That's pretty wild.
He's a little local folklore. That's interesting.
Yeah. I thought maybe you guys like to check it out or something.
Yeah, no, I absolutely would. Yeah, for sure. That's fascinating. Do you have any local folklore, Jackson?
Local what?
Folklore?
Oh, folklore.
Or any like local like haunted spots or anything like that?
Yeah,
Eloise. I pretty sure you know about that.
Oh yeah, I know Eloise.
I would love to take it.
There is.
All right.
There is some haunted places here, but I'm about 20 minutes from Virginia, and there's this old hospital that was abandoned, sort of like Eloise. And they say there's a little girl's spirit in there that carries around a little bike with her. And they say you can hear her cry in the hospital, and it is scary as can be.
Do you know what the hospital's called? Do you know what
hospital's called?
do you know what the hospital's called by any chance?
I do not. I just know
Okay.
it's in Virginia.
All right.
If I find the name of it tomorrow, I'll send you all a text.
Hell yeah, please do. And I actually do
Yeah.
have a secondhand story about Eloise that I'll tell. You guys will have to watch the episode. I'll tell it once we hop off here. But
For sure.
like seriously, like thank you guys.
Yeah.
For hopping on here with us tonight. Like this is a genuine like full circle moment for us. Like this is great. Like you guys are some of the first people that ever found us from being at a show. So it's really cool. to
Yeah.
talk to you
Yeah,
guys.
I love watching every time I click on your channel to watch a new podcast. I love seeing that subscriber count just go up and go up.
Oh man. Yeah, I mean, no,
Because it's like
it means a lot.
because it's like when you get a puppy or a kitten or something and you just watch it grow.
Yeah.
Hey.
That's kind of what we
Yeah,
said about
yeah.
it. Yeah, that's kind of what we said about it. Yeah.
Like he was like, hey, I seen that before he was big.
Yeah. No, exactly.
Yeah.
You're on the ground floor. you know?
100%.
And now you guys are forever guests on the show. And I'll tell you right now, both of you guys are welcome back anytime you want.
Yeah. We'll have to figure out a way to. Have to
I was
figure out a
actually
way
gonna
to.
ask, when's the next time you got a podcast special?
Well, we got an album of the year list coming up next week, but after coming into the next year, we're just trying to get everyone we can on. So
Yeah.
we'll have to have you guys on sometime early next year and just hang out and I got a lot of questions for you guys. So
All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
You down for that?
Definitely.
fantastic. All right. Well, thank you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being on the show.
You all look-
And I hope you guys have a wonderful holiday.
Yeah, you too.
Yeah, you too. I hope the man brings you 4.0s instead of 3.5s.
Hey.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Keep it heavy, boys. All right. And I will be sure to be in contact with you again soon. All right.
All right, see you.
You guys have a great night. Thank you.
You too.
Yeah. Peace.
And there it is.
There it is, the first call. So I will say real quick before we get into anything else, this story about Eloise, just in case they actually do watch this.
Oh yeah.
Even though sorry everybody, I know that camera work wasn't director worthy, but we're doing this on the fly.
Do okay.
So my story about Eloise is not mine. It's from my uncle, and I have told it on here before, and I'll tell it again. There was one night where my uncle, with a group of his friends, went down to Eloise. And one of his friends, and this is like mid 90s probably. And one of his friends had one of those big fucking video cameras, right? That took the whole VCR tape kind of a thing.
I know this story.
Yes, you
This is one
do.
of my favorite stories.
And so they go down there and they're like, they know they can get in, and so they're planning on walking around. So they go down there, they're kind of conjugating around the main area or whatever. And this guy on a bicycle rides up to them and he's like, hey, what are you guys doing? You know, and they're like, oh, we're about to go in and check this place out. We got a video camera, whatever, blah, blah. He's like, well, I used to work here. I can give you guys a tour. All right. Yeah, let's do it. So they go in. I think I remember him saying they went in through like a crack in the gate or whatever. And they go around the whole build. They go like through every floor. They go down to the boiler room, the infirmary, the morgue, everything. And this guy's giving them this tour, right? And so everything wraps up and everybody goes home. And my uncle goes home, gets dropped off or whatever. And he gets home. Goes into the kitchen. It's late. I don't know this, but I imagine it's about 1, 2, 3 in the morning. And he goes into the kitchen. He's making a sandwich. And he gets a phone call from his friend who had the video camera. It's kind of frantic. He goes, dude, they didn't live far away. They lived close. It's like, dude, you need to get over here right now. He's like, dude, I just got home, sitting down. He's no, shut the fuck up. Get over here right now.
Yeah.
So Uncle goes over there and they sit down and watch the tape. And the dude on the bicycle never appears anywhere in the tape. The camera literally is like pans to him, pans to somebody else asking a question, pans back to him. Every time it pans to him, there's nobody there. But yet people are asking and responding to questions that the invisible person is saying.
Yeah.
So they were basically given a tour by a ghost at Eloise Asylum.
Yeah.
And that's one of my favorite ghost stories
Dude,
that I've ever been told.
I thought that was somewhere in Michigan. Like I thought that was like Coral Gables. I didn't realize that was
Detroit.
Eloise. Yeah.
Eloise. I think it was Eloise. Like I'm pretty sure maybe I'm wrong. You know what? I'm going to see that uncle tomorrow on Christmas Eve. So I'll double check.
Does he have that footage?
You know, I genuinely feel like within the last year or two, I asked him about it and he said, I think I can get it. And then I never heard anything back.
Oh, dude.
So I'm not sure, but I'll remind him tomorrow.
How wild would that be to see that?
To have that footage would be insane.
Oh, dude.
It would be fucking insane.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me check this. Okay, sorry everybody. Sorry. I'm coordinating calls here. But yeah, I know I will ask him about that tomorrow just to see, you know, what if we could get it. But yeah, that is footage that I would kill for.
Because I have such a vivid picture of it in my head that like if I were to see it and if it turned out the same way, like it'd be just, and like the prior knowledge of it all.
Yeah.
Just knowing that that's what happened and just, you know.
And that's one of the most haunted locations in this state that I have not been to yet. Like that's a bucket list motherfucker right there. And as Jordan was just telling us, I cannot believe their names were Jordan and Jackson.
Dude,
that is fucked. Like the amount of synchronicities with these two guys is what?
Yeah.
Like we see them randomly in a pit. We randomly talk about them on a podcast. They randomly end up hearing the podcast and we end up on podcasts with their teachers. Like
with them telling us about
Jordan and dude, there's something weird going on. Wayne, if you're seeing this, think about those synchronicities, man. The synchronicities here are fucking insane. That's insane. Like my best friend, like I was the best man in his wedding. Jordan Jackson. Jordan what? JC, I used to call him Jordan Cash Money Jackson.
Oh, yeah.
JCMJ.
Oh yeah.
Like that's what he's in as my phone. In my that's what he is in my phone right now, JCMJ.
Nice.
Because he's Jordan Cash Money Jackson. Like, that is insane. Like he said that, I was like,
it's like there's no way.
You gotta be kidding me. Wow. That's wild. That's wild.
Yeah, I know. I'd like to have them back on. Again,
I would love to talk to them about like their metal origins, and you know, see how they got into the whole thing to begin with, and you know, they're definitely ones I would like to talk to more. That'd be a lot of fun, and the fact that they remind me of Aaron from Victims of the System quite a bit. So
100%.
and I love Aaron to death. So it's
He's awesome.
and he, of course. So okay, so we just had them on, and now we got to set this up. This is a pre-recorded thing that I'm adding in right here, but right here is going to be Aaron did call in. Aaron from Victims of the System did have a call-in story for us. It's kind of a funny one, and so here that is, everyone. Aaron from Victims of the System calling in on this holiday special. Enjoy. And we're back with brother Aaron from Victims of the System. And dude, seriously, this is huge. Thank you so much for being a part of this fucking Christmas extravaganza we got going on right now. We're all recording this a day early, but that's all good. You'll be I'll get it in there, and we'll be all right. But to start things off real quick, you said you have your favorite like Christmas story for me. So give me that real quick.
Yeah. I don't know. You talked to my brother before.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's gonna be too happy about me telling this story. But one year, like Christmas Day, Christmas morning, everybody's in the living room and shit, because it's Christmas morning.
Mhm.
And my uncle, it's funny, dude. He's like, he gets my brother to put his arms in his sleeves, like all the way down, so they're stuck, like, and his elbows are out.
Mhm.
And when he does that, my uncle pantses him. I don't think that's how you pronounce that. Pants
Yeah,
him.
pants. You get pants. Yeah.
Yeah, but he pants him, and but we didn't know that he like wasn't wearing underwear. So like the whole family saw his nads, dude. Yeah, and we bring it up like all the time, and he says we're lying, like because we make fun of him because like
he was just so little, right?
Yeah, it was like maybe 3 years ago, but yeah, it was still, we make fun of him. He's like, nah, it wasn't that small. And everybody's like, yeah, it was, dude. You guys.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
That's one of those good ones where it's like it's a family, it's like that's something that happens around the family, and fucking there's definitely a couple embarrassing Christmas stories that my family likes to tell about me every year too, so I get it.
Yeah. I was trying to think of a way to word it before you called me, or before I called you. I was trying to think of a way to word it where it didn't sound like we're like a weird fucking.
No.
I was trying to think of a good way to word it.
You got brothers, that's gonna happen. So it's just part of the game. Hell yeah, dude. That's awesome. That's a great Christmas story. But I do have real quick. There are a couple other things, of course. Victims of the System came out with the war, waging war. What's it called again?
Let the War Be Waged.
Let the War Be Waged. It's an 11-track album. I have heard it. Fucking every single new thing that you guys release sounds better and better in terms of production, in terms of your guitar playing. Everything. How did you feel about that release?
I felt really good. Every single song has a meaning behind it. If you want to ask me the meanings behind the titles of the tracks, you can. Some of them I might need to like not say the names of the people, because a lot of them are about people I fucking hate. Off
the rip, one of my favorite guitar parts on the album is the beginning of Healing.
Yeah.
I really like that. Oh, wait. Well, first of all, I got to ask about fucking how it starts. Because you guys was that a sample in the beginning of War Pigs, right?
It was the crowd singing it at the concert with Black Label I went to a Black Label Society Obituary and Prom concert. Right before Black Label came out, the whole crowd started singing War Pigs, and that's what I sampled. Yeah.
Aaron.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah, that, and
Genius!
I started playing the beginning of the song is the beginning of my guitar playing is part of War Pigs too.
Right, I noticed that, and I noticed that, and I was like, that's a really cool, like it, because it kind of mold, like you melded it together, you like bled it in together, and I thought that was really neat. But because that was the next thing I was going to ask you about, of course, is that in the beginning of November, you went to your first like big fucking show, which was Obituary and Black Label Society. Who else was there?
Prong, the singer Prong pointed at me.
Hell yeah. And now
Yes.
what city did this concert happen in, and what venue? I always like to know the venue.
Huntsville, Alabama, at the
Okay.
Mars Music Hall.
Moore's Music Hall.
Mars Music Hall.
Moore's Music. Okay.
But mosh pits and shit, any type of mosh pit was banned there, which kind of sucked.
Oh, that is lame.
Gorgia played like a week later there, and I saw videos and they did not take that rule into consideration with Gorgia.
There's
yeah.
There is a venue up here that used to say no moshing, but they kind of like let that go after a while because people were like, "What the fuck?" So
yeah.
But
I got this shirt.
yeah.
This shirt there. Yeah.
But so I wasn't expecting that. So you recorded the crowd singing War Pigs before Black Label comes out, and you use that as a sample at the top of the album. That
it's because like between sets they would play like background music, but it was really quiet.
Yeah.
Like but they played a mix of War Pigs and Whole Lot of Love by Led Zeppelin. It was like a mashup, and the whole crowd lost their shit and was singing War Pigs, and that's where I got it.
That is genius. That is a great idea. Like I didn't know, because I could tell that it was a live situation. You can hear the crowd singing and everything. So I'm like, where did he get this from? I wonder what live show he used it from. And that you used it from that immortalizes that for you forever. That's sick, dude. That's a really great idea. Actually, I love that.
And the inspiration behind that song, "Kill the Machine," is the name of that song. The inspiration behind that was it's a little political, and everybody's entitled to their own opinion. And I don't mean to offend anybody, but it's about my opinion on the Kyle Rittenhouse trial, and I'm not like too fond of what happened with that. And I just wrote a song about it. Like it was kind of just a twisted situation, and I feel like with War Pigs, that's really what it goes like. Going back to War Pigs, like War Pigs is about like war and shit, but it's still just about like the system being broken, and I like that a lot. And I feel like that was a good song to use and make for that situation.
Hell yeah! Now, what about the guitar intro for Healing, and what's that one about?
That song's about my girlfriend. I don't know if she wants me to say her name.
That's fine. Don't worry about it. Shout out to her.
But yeah, one day I was like talking to her, and I was like, there's been times where I almost wrote a song about you, but I feel like that's lame. And she's like, that's not lame at all. Like that kind of pisses me off that you didn't do it. And I was like, all right, well, I guess I'm going to do that now. And so I wasn't like forced to do it. I was just recording one day, and I was just playing, and I got a new amp, and it's got like this echo filter on it. So I was just fucking around with some shit, and then I ended up writing one about her. Of course, like the little death metal part in the middle, that's not really dedicated to her. That's just because I didn't want to make like a ballad on a death metal album. So I just had to throw some death metal in there. But then the solo at the end and shit, all that, the name, all of it's about her. But yeah.
What would you say your favorite song on the album is?
Probably Healing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just because I don't know. The rest of them are about me being angry about something, but that one's about me being happy about something, or maybe not like happy, but just not angry.
Right,
so,
right.
But yeah, this album, I've worked really hard on it, and I put a lot of effort into it, but it's gotten the worst reviews from all of our albums so far, and it's whatever, man. Like that's part of making music. I'm not like being salty, but like. I go to check the comments, and I see there's a new comment, and I get excited, and it's like, oh, this sounds like shit, and I'm like, oh, cool, man, that's fun. But like, yeah, one guy was like, is this one of those like challenges where you record an album over a weekend? I was like, I mean, you see, I was gonna answer him because I thought he was being serious. I was like, this dude's being a smartass right now. Like, I'm not even gonna fucking take the time to answer you, man. But it's whatever. I'm if they don't like the music, that's whatever. I was happy with the product. We still got ways to improve, but like I'm 16 years old and I'm doing this shit. So
yeah, you're 16, you put out you have a pretty large library already. It's actually very impressive, and it's just like podcasting, man. It's 10 fucking thousand hours. Like, you know, you got to put in the time, you got to make, you know, what some people might think is not as good as other stuff that you've made, but you got to make it to get to the fucking next good thing that you're going to make. You know what I'm saying? It's all part of the fucking process. And that's what I love about what you do. That's what I love about how relentless you are with your releases, and like how there's always something right around the corner. And I'm like, because all it is hustle. All you know what I mean? You're hustling, you're doing it, you're going full in, and you know, that's what the fuck it takes. Like just hustling that hard and never stopping. And eventually something will catch.
Yeah. And you know, it's cool. It's like I appreciate the opportunities I've been given as well. Like, you know, and for criticism, I can take criticism, like, but just saying it sounds like shit, that's not really criticism.
Yeah, that's just yeah.
Yeah, but I can take criticism, man. But like, I don't know. I'm not really that offended by it. It's just like I'm still thankful for having this. I'm not gonna like get pissed and quit. Like, you know.
Good.
I'm still very thankful.
I disagree with those people. I think it's very good release. I think it's a big step up every single time you release something new. Did you do the cover art again?
I did. I edited it, but I didn't make the original. I changed it up, but I didn't make the original.
Well, it looks great. It looks great. It's very, I don't know if you're very familiar with them, but it's very reminiscent to me of the first Arch Enemy album with Angela Gassau. It's like the Wages of Sin. Yeah. Like it kind of has the same colorway a little bit, and like has like a couple little similarities. It reminded me of that. And I love the way the new logo looks on it. I think the new logo is sick as fuck. It's gonna look great across the chest on a t-shirt.
Yeah, I got hoodies getting made right now. I'm looking at.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. But yeah.
That's great. No, I thought you guys did a great job with it. So I definitely disagree with all them. But I do want to hear real quick about, you know, man, like for you already having released a ton of music. You've been playing for a while. You've been this has been you found metal and you're like, this is it for me. And you've already been there for a while, despite the fact that you are still fairly young. What was it like for you, like going in to that Black Label Society show? What was the theater like? What'd you think of the theater? What was it like being a crowd like that for you? What was that all like for you, man?
Man, it was like, you know, I had never been to a concert. I wanted to go to a concert. Was looking forward to it, but I also had some like anxiousness about it. I was nervous that I was gonna like pass out or something, and I was nervous about being in a large crowd of people. You know, there were people smoking shit near me and getting drunk, and like that kind of made me a little anxious. But I just kind of let that ruin the time. You know, I was about to be like in front, like in the presence of someone I've been watching on TV since I was, well, not on TV, but like on screens and shit since I was a little fucking kid.
Yep.
One of my idols, if not like, like one of my, like the first band I remember listening to was Black Label Society when I was a little kid. That's the first band. I'm not sure if it's the first I listened to, but it's my first memory of metal. And, you know, it was something to look forward to. And of course I like Obituary, but I got into them a little later. I'm excited to see them, but not as excited as Black Label. And Prong, didn't know Prong before, but I was excited to see a metal band play live. So, you know, Prong opens, I'm like, they open up with Test, and that shit, that was insane, dude. I lost my mind. That was cool as shit.
They have such a good energy on stage.
Yeah, they killed it. Prong killed it. The guitarist and the bassist were holding hands in the middle of it. That was awesome, bro. The Prong killed, and I'm a fan of Prong now. Obituary fucking murdered, dude. Their light show was insane. The singer just kept beating up the guitar, so he would run over there while he was playing guitar and just punch him, and I thought that was funny. But yeah, Obituary was awesome, and their light show was insane. I was like, I don't know how Black Label is gonna follow that. Like, they just murdered shit. And then the curtain went up as soon as Obituary's set ended, and about like an hour later, the lights go off, you see their shadows, and I'm like, okay. And then drop smoke. Black Label blew it out of the water, man. Black Label That was the coolest moment. Like of my life, I still Suicide Messiah. And you know how in the music video everybody's like shooting horns and throwing them up and shit. And like, yeah, that exact thing happened at the concert. And then they ended it with Stillborn, and that's my all-time favorite track, of course. And then yeah, man, that was insane. And then he like brought out a picture of Dimebag and kissed it right before he left, and that was fucking awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Dude, that's incredible. I love that your first show ever is, in a big bad way. Zach is one of the last like direct connections that we all still have to Dime.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. Because like I'm not really good at taking things in the moment, like how cool things are. So I really have to focus. I'm like, this is gonna be sick. Like you have to realize how fucking awesome this is. Like take it in for a minute. So I was just thinking about it like on a huge scale. I was just like, this is like the closest thing to Dimebag left, and you're about to fucking see him in person.
Yeah.
And, yeah, man, it was awesome. And This River got me emotional as shit when they played that.
Oh yeah.
But, like, the only bad part about that was Zach didn't play the solo. It was Dario, and Dario, he impressed me with it. But like, it still would have been cool to see Zach play it. Like, because he had the two naked guitar, and he had that one, but he just didn't play the solo because he was on the piano.
Oh, okay. All right. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah, I don't know if you were planning on doing this, but I didn't come on after Terrified released either. So I was just going to see if you had any questions about Terrified.
Oh, fuck. Damn, it's been that long? Jesus.
Yeah.
Holy fuck. I mean, I don't have any off the top, but like so is Terrified and Let the War Be Raged same lineup?
No, actually, we added Sam to Victors of the System.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And he recorded "Ripping Your Massive Fucking Teeth Out" for "Let the War Be Waged."
Hell yeah.
Yeah. But
go on.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No. You go. I interrupted you.
I was gonna say that Sam was on Terrified, but that was on the track with Chris Barnes because I let a bunch of people get on the track with Chris Barnes because when you get a feature with Chris Barnes, you gotta like help your friends out and get them a track with Chris Barnes too. Yeah. So yeah, and he was in my old band. Sam was Liquid Fetus Remnants,
right? And
we were all on that track. So I put featuring Liquid Fetus Remnants at the beginning, and it was like the reunion of Liquid Fetus Remnants, like, but not actually, but still.
That's cool. That's fucking awesome. What was it like getting Barnes on?
Chris Barnes, dude, he's a cool dude. Like I talked to him the other day about Let the War Be Waged. It's cool that I get to have such a opportunity to be friends with like all these big time people, especially Chris Barnes, one of the first death metal bands I got into. I'm not trying to like brag and shit, but like there's plenty of more dudes, but because Michael from Cranium was also on that album. Mm-hmm. Michael Cranium, yeah. But Chris, the fact that like I wasn't too sure. I told Sam how I got this feature booked. I told Sam, I was like, I have a song with Cranium on the next album or the EP. Do you want to be on it? He was like, fuck yes. And I was like joking around. I was like, yeah, I got a song with Chris Barnes too. You want to hop on that shit? He was like, fuck yes. And I was like, yeah, well, too bad because I'm busting your fucking balls, Sam. Didn't even mean that. And then he was like, okay, yeah, fuck you. But then I was like, I wonder, I'm cool with Chris. I talked to Chris quite a bit. Maybe if I just hit him up and ask, maybe he'll be down for it. But I don't want to be that guy that's just like, oh yeah, just jump on a fucking song with me, dude. But like, yeah, I hit him up and I was like, yo, your mom like working with us on this new track that I got coming up on the album. He was like, yeah, for sure. I was like, holy shit, okay. And I texted Sam and I was like, dude, I actually got a song with Chris Barnes now. He's like, yeah, and you're not fucking funny. And I was like, well, here's the screenshots of me talking to him. I'm like, yeah, I do got a song with Chris Barnes now. He was like, holy shit. And I was like, yeah, I know. And so I was just like, all right, we talked it out, worked everything out. It released, I sent it to him. He was like, thanks, man. Awesome. And I was like, cool, okay. And then, yeah, it was a pretty easy situation. Like, it wasn't like any stress. It was a very easy person to work with. cool fucking guy. He's very easy to get along with, and I appreciate the shit he's done for my music. And the fact that I even have the opportunity to like talk to him or know him is really cool to me.
Hey, that's really special. That's awesome. That yeah. All of that is nothing but awesome. Any chance that it feels like you get to kind of like reach up to like one of the idols, you know what I mean? And they're actually like they reach back down, you know, that's special.
Yeah,
That's special.
He's an extremely humble person. Like it doesn't feel like I'm talking to a celebrity when I'm talking to him, but then like I really stop and look. I'm like, that's the dude from Cannibal Corpse. Like,
Yeah.
He's Ace Ventura and shit. Like he's like and it just blows my mind how he still stays a person. Like he doesn't get a massive fucking head after all the shit he's accomplished. But yeah,
that's sick, dude. I'm glad to hear that. That's an amazing story. But we've gotten all I needed from you, honestly, for this Christmas special thing. So I'll end the recording, but I just want to say one more time, thank you, brother, so much for everything you've ever done, and thank you so much for being part of this Christmas special with us. It really means a lot.
no problem at all. Let me get a screenshot of this because
Sure.
all right, well, I'm gonna have to hold the phone, but whatever.
Okay, yeah. A little behind the scenes for everybody. Horns up.
All right, sick.
Oh yeah.
You can cut that part out, but yeah, whatever.
And there we go. So yeah, you don't actually know this yet, but he told the story. Now are you the youngest of your siblings?
Yeah.
So did any of your siblings ever pants you?
No, but my older brother, who's stepbrother, he did like it was on occasion, like we'd do like the whole wrestling thing, and like just because he's way bigger than me, like I just get like pushed around all the time, and like
You never
all
got
that kind of
pants?
shit.
Damn.
We're a little more civil than that around my house.
Yeah, I guess we were savages. Well, no, I was the oldest, and I didn't have any brothers. I had
Okay.
two younger sisters,
Yeah.
so I definitely pants both of them multiple times, just be an evil dick. But there was also one time, and I'll tell the story because Aaron told the story about his little brother getting pants, and that was his Christmas story. And there was one time where I'll never. This is burned into my brain because it was like so traumatic. Pour me up.
Oh, okay. What you want?
Trace.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you remember on the playground the like spiderweb dome thing?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. And you remember how like some of them were small and some of them were big?
Yeah.
Well, we had a big one on my playground
Mm.
when I was down in Waterford. And I remember one day I was tiny. I was still small. So I was like hanging from the middle of it.
Yeah.
And I was like kind of scared to let go.
Mm.
And just it was covered in kids. Like it was just there were the kids everywhere on it. And they were all like, just like how they were all like yelling at me.
Mm.
And then someone below me started trying to pull me down and they pantsed me
Oh.
in front of everyone. And I had on whitey tighties.
How old were you?
Oh my God, dude. I couldn't have been older than 6 or 7.
6,
I
yeah.
was a child,
Yeah.
just a little baby.
So yeah.
And I was so humiliated, dude. Like it was so bad. Like in front of like it was like a scene from the Christmas Story.
Yeah.
Like you look up and everyone just like it was like a scene from the Christmas Story. It was insane, dude. I'll never forget that. That was wild. But yeah, that is a story. So not a Christmas story, but
Yeah.
I mean it might have been. I don't remember when, like what time of year it happened or whatever, but
Mhm.
but Aaron just told that story, so I figured I would tell that one. But
it wasn't even a bear, like it was, I mean, for the time when I it was pretty terrible. But the only time I ever had anything like that was I broke my arm. I was on monkey bars and I was in kindergarten. It was my left arm. And I don't really fully remember what happened. All I remember is like I was up there and then all of a sudden like my arm was like behind me. And I don't remember like how it happened.
Wait, like monkey bars?
Yeah. I think
How
I
do you-
fell backwards and tried to catch myself.
Oh.
And then after that, all I remember is just like screaming my head off.
Oh wow.
So that's as far as like that goes. It's way
Oh, I've broken my left arm twice. Yeah.
way less funny than being pants. But
What's crazy is that both times I broke my left arm, both times I was like, no, it's not broken.
yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
I was like playing it off like, no, it's fine. I don't need to go to the doctor. Like, and I was a kid too.
Yeah.
I wasn't even in high school yet. Like I was a kid.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, this was like full on like I knew as soon as it happened what like all like there was just like a shooting pain that happened. And then which is funny because I thought that because a fracture is different than a break, than a full break, I guess.
yes.
But like I imagine like because when I fractured my right wrist like last year or 2 years ago, I kind of thought that like I would figure it out and like I would feel it a little bit more, but I just didn't. I didn't realize till it was fractured until I went to the doctors and stuff about it.
Yeah.
But that's a different story, I guess. Like
Yeah,
so,
no, I've had similar things.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But I mean, yeah, like when I like the two times I broke my arm, I just like maybe I was in shock. I don't know, but like it just didn't like register that it was broken. And I was just like, oh, I can keep going. It's fine. It'll get better.
Yeah.
But
And you're like, wait.
then I went to the doctor and they're like, oh no, it's broke as fuck, bro.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, have you okay. Do you have any extremely embarrassing Christmas memories? I got one.
Yeah, I got one. It's one only my family would remember.
Give it to us. I got one. Only my
Okay,
family.
all
remember
right,
too.
so
yeah,
trade for trade.
yeah.
God, I can't really want to tell this story. This shit's so embarrassing. So I was always a fan of like of the of video games and stuff, even at a young age.
Yeah.
And obviously, like that's the big thing that you always want when you're growing up is like the newest system or whatever. So we got, I think for 1 year, like before I could even like had any real like recollection of like how like just the excitement of like what it actually meant to have, because like the first system like we got that was brand new was the first PlayStation, right? And that
Okay.
was, and like I kind of remember that. Like I remember being really excited about it and like asking if I could play it first because I was so excited about it. I mean, it was like the family thing or whatever. So there was that, and then that kind of started everything else that happened. Just like my excitement about just video games and all that kind of stuff at a young age. But there was 1 year in particular when I was getting really into the pro skater games, the Tony Hawk games.
Sure.
So I was like, I was really into the first one, and then the second one was coming out, and I don't remember if I asked for it specifically, but that year that it came out, I remember opening it and just being like, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. I was like, booyah. And then like, so ever since then, my family always makes fun of me for saying that shit because it was like, I was so excited. I was just like, booyah. It was like, whenever you get something. So
every year when they get something they're excited about, they're like,
oh yeah. Yeah. So it's that kind of thing. But, dude, it's
that's great.
like, do you remember that Nintendo Kid video with the kid that opens up the Nintendo 64 and like
yes.
he's like screaming about it?
Yeah.
It was like, it wasn't quite that extreme, but it was like to the point where I was really excited about it. Like I had the I got like that for it, and then like you know, like a few presents later, I got like the whole guidebook for it and stuff. And like I was so into it, and then like I think I got like a controller that year and stuff too.
You're just like,
yeah, dude, I was so pumped, and I was like, I don't know, I was like 8 years old at the time.
Yeah.
So I was, but yeah, that was. But that is one that, and when they watch this, which they will inevitably, like I don't think I've ever told that story.
Well, I've never told this story.
So
See, I was never like you know, PlayStation, Nintendo, these Sega, these things never enchanted me the way they did many others. It was never my thing, you know. It was never
yeah.
I was never hoping for the new system or anything like that. But oh man, there used to be this thing, this toy. There's a toy called Big Rex, and it was basically what do you call it? Fucking come on, like a ripoff. You know, like a rip-off Godzilla, basically is what it was.
Okay.
And it was a little robot toy that would walk around. It kind of looked like Godzilla, but with short spikes, kind of like my lizard, actually. And it would walk around. Its eyes would light up. It would roar. Its mouth would open. No, none of those.
None of those.
And smoke would actually come out of its mouth.
Oh, that's cool.
And the thing, it was an amazing toy, but the thing about this toy is that it was extremely fragile, and I would break it every year. I'd break the leg off, I'd break an arm off, something.
Yeah.
And I was always like, that's what I wanted every year. It was a new Big Rex or a Stretch Armstrong, you know, or something like that. And that's all I really, you know, I was never into the video games or really anything like that as hardcore as everybody else was. And I remember one year for whatever reason, I had been watching like a lot of Christmas movies or something. It was like the first year where I was really able, like I was a kid, I was like 6, 7, 8 years old. I was a child. And it was kind of like one of the first years I was really able to like recollect, like or take in like the Christmas movies that I was watching. And all the Christmas movies I was watching, all the kids like only got one present, and that's just what it was.
Yeah.
And so I thought for me that's what it was going to be that year. And the first present that I opened was socks and underwear. And I started crying. I started like bawling because I thought that was it.
That's it. Yeah.
All I got was socks and underwear. And I just started bawling, and my whole fucking family makes fun of me for that to this day. The fact that I started bawling when I got socks. And then of course a couple presents later came Big Rex.
Yeah.
And then even to put the cherry on top of that cake. Put the cherry on top of that cake, and this actually means a lot to me. A year, like 20 years later, about 3. Jesus Christ, I keep forgetting about 2020 that it even existed. So probably about like 3, 4, 5 years ago, somewhere in there. And it really, because I actually, it really amazes me because I actually really credit myself for being able to find rare things online. Like I'm pretty damn good at it. Like I can find some shit, bro. Like I have found some shit. Like I'm pretty good at navigating my way through the internet to find what I'm looking for. And there was a point in my adult life where I was like, I should find a Big Rex, and I was never able to. And about like 3 or 4 years ago, my dad found one.
Yeah.
And he gave it to me for Christmas. And when I opened that thing, I pretty much started crying, dude. Like, and it's in storage. It's in a very protected, like area. Like it is protected. Like
Indiana
it is,
Jones shit.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like-
It's very much Temple of Doom shit. Like it is protected. It is in mint condition still. And I just could not believe that he even found it. And it took my breath away when I opened that. And
oh man.
like it was
awesome.
like this is my childhood
Yeah.
here. Like this is
Yeah.
that was probably, I mean, honestly, like to this day, probably one of the greatest Christmas gifts I've ever gotten. Like I've gotten some my in you know what, I'm not gonna lie. Like there's not a lot of things I'll sit here and like brag about or say I'm good at or anything. I think I'm dog shit at most things, but Christmas gifts is something I've always prided myself on being good at. and I feel like I get that from my dad, and he showed me up that year. And that one I know exactly where it is right now. Like
Nice.
I know exactly where it is right now. It still works, and it's all the pieces are there, and it's it's in the original packaging that I remember seeing on the shelf at Kmart.
Oh, that's even crazier.
Yeah.
And it was all in the same
packaging, dude. The styrofoam, like everything. It's crazy. Like it's that's a good one. That's a good one. But
trying to think.
Yeah.
Some like, I don't know. Do you have like, would you say that was what, like the one that sticks out the most when you think of like the most memorable thing you've ever gotten, or like the most like anything like that? Because I'm trying to think right now, like what
I mean,
because I've got some really
probably honestly though, okay, from my childhood, yes, that is I mean, I'll just never forget this one. I don't remember what year it was or anything. I was probably 7 years old or something, but I remember just walking Big Rex up and down my grandparents, because we always used to have Christmas Eve and Christmas Day at my grandparents in Taylor, Michigan. And I'll never forget walking Big Rex up and down their kitchen. So as a child, from the childhood, that's probably the biggest one. But as an adult, I mean, it was what, like 4 or 5 years ago now, they got me that Yeti microphone.
Oh yeah.
That started this whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
All they did was bought me a microphone. And we started Lost in the Dark podcast on that microphone.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
So those two were definitely some of the biggest, like by far, and they had they just took a shot in the dark. They weren't anticipating anything. They just got me a microphone. They were like, oh, this looks cool. Get it for, I don't know what they were thinking. I have no idea. I can't even say that. I have no idea what they were thinking.
Yeah.
But they got me a microphone, and I took it and started Lost in the Dark with you and Preston. And without that, we never get here. All these years later, 200 plus episodes later, we're doing a Christmas special of 2021.
Yeah.
Right now. Like,
pretty crazy.
Fucking insane, dude. Like, all they did was buy me a microphone. And I was like, oh.
Okay.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Like, what? It really doesn't even make any sense. But yeah, I mean, I would say, and don't get me wrong, there's definitely a lot of amazing things that I'm not there. I mean, one year for one year for Christmas, they got me my Santana PRS.
Oh yeah, the guitar.
It was my first really good guitar.
Yeah.
And I never really appreciated it until recently, and I play it constantly now.
Nice.
So yeah. Like so they're definitely amazing catalysts for a lot of things. Yeah, like always very special, and that's why I always try to knock it out of the park for them too.
Yeah.
Like especially now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
especially now.
There's, I guess I'm trying to think of like specifics. As far as like stuff I've got, because there's the bikes and all that stuff, like your first bike or whatever. I always remember that because I was at the old house or whatever, and they hid it in like there was like a laundry room that was kind of like off the living room or whatever. The door was shut in it, and then the last thing that they brought out was the bikes or whatever. So we like rode them around outside in the snow or whatever. So that was pretty cool. I always remember that. Yeah, as far as like just really memorable stuff, I guess. I don't know, or like,
all right, let me ask you the other way. Do you have any really good memories of what's your favorite gift that you've ever given?
Oh, dude, it was recently. It was just this year. I was, because my dad's, I mean, I've told this on the podcast before. One of my dad's favorite bands, Deep Purple. And he always loved Ian Pace. Even still does, like even now. I mean, he's one of the greatest. Like he was, even like as he was growing up or whatever, like he always wanted to, like that was kind of his motivation to play drums and all that stuff. So I was able, for his birthday I think it was for his birthday this year. I was able to, I went online and I found a signed drum head from him, and I gave it to him for his birthday. Yeah. And it was like, it has a card that's like all authenticated and stuff, so it's all like real.
Holy shit, you never told me about that.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't. Oh
no.
Yeah. So I found that, and I gave it to him. Like I had to wait a couple days. He's like, I didn't give it to him right on his birthday. So like a few days later, I came home with a couple of stuff that like I knew that he wanted a few things, but then I gave that out, and like I don't know if I've ever, well, I don't know. There's a couple of times, but like to really see him like get emotional about stuff like material, because he like, my dad's the kind of person where like he's not really like a material person. Like he's very much like, I feel like he's just more of like a, like a like spend time with you kind of person. Like the time that you're with somebody is way more important than just the gift that you give somebody.
Yes.
But, so
I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah. And like I feel like both my parents are really like that, which is kind of why I feel like I'm the same way in a lot of senses. But so yeah, I like when I gave that to him, or like it was the last thing, and I was like, I know you wanted these few things, and then the last thing I was like, I went a little crazy. I was like, but as soon as I saw this, I was like, oh, I have to jump on this. Like I have to. And then like he opened it or whatever and started looking at it, and it was just, it was a really special moment, man. Like it was cool. Like it was one of the few times that like I ever remember giving him or just anybody something, but him specifically, and just having that kind of reaction to it. And I was like, got him. Like, because I'm the type of person that like, especially like with my parents, with like ones that are close to me, like I'm the type of guy that like I try so hard to like pull on the heartstrings. Like if I can get you to like tear up or like just be really excited about something, that like it's like, yes, like that's the best.
I'm the same way.
Yeah.
I am the same.
Like I remember giving like my mom a couple of things like last Christmas specifically, just because of all of her all her health stuff and everything. It was a pretty special year, because she had just gotten I could be wrong about the timing of this, but she had just gotten over the treatment stuff and everything like that. It was just so like it was we were giving her a lot of like sentimental kind of gifts and stuff, and so it was kind of a heavy kind of
sure
but it was you know, just one that I'll always remember and stuff. And especially because of, you know, because of the last like 2 years and stuff. And now this year, like we get to celebrate because it's been 2 years that they checked over all of her tests and stuff, and it came back negative for any signs of cancer at all. And like, you know, that to me is one of the best gifts ever. Like I couldn't ask for more, man. Like I
you know, I wasn't gonna go specifically into that unless you did, but the fact that you did, cheers.
Hey, dude.
Cheers to Mrs. Gray.
Hey, love you, Mom.
Love you, Aaron's mom. To beating that shit, and that's no, like, dude, because warrior, you sent when I was having a real weird week, honestly, and then you sent me that news about your mother, and I can't even tell you, like, my whole body just got warm. Like, it was a physical reaction of, like, I almost started tearing up. Like, it was just like, it made me so happy. Coming off of such of like an odd, like a weird time. I wasn't sleeping good. It was just a weird thing, like a weird time I was having. And then I get hit with this amazing news. It's you know, it's part of it is the fact that I was, because of you, of course, I was intimately aware of a lot of the happenings.
Sure.
And when I read that, dude, like I was literally like in my robe getting ready to get in the shower in the bathroom right there.
Yeah.
And I looked down at my phone and I see that, and my hands started shaking. Like my hands started shaking, and it just, I don't know, it just filled me with warmth and joy. Like I was just so happy about that. Yeah, like you said, I can't imagine a better Christmas gift.
Yeah.
Like that's,
oh, dude, ever since you got that news and stuff, and like, cause I'd come home from like it was a pretty long day at that point.
Yeah,
and,
you had been working
like
a motherfucker.
And you know, I was like, yeah.
God.
Yeah, she told me that, was kind of explaining it to me, and like all I could do was just smile, and I just gave her like the biggest hug ever, man. And like that was, you know, ever since then it's just like we've been into, like, you know, it's been pretty light around the house, and it's the first time in a long time. So I'm you know, not to get too deep into it, I guess, but like, you know, I just, you know, that was one of the things that kind of like sets this aside from the other years, and is really kind of one of, you know, I feel like kind of a really, you know, like a present to all of us, I guess, more, you know.
Agreed.
So,
Agreed.
you know, and everything else is just kind of cake at this point. So
agreed. Hopefully I get to yeah, no, I need to come over sometime.
Dude, yeah.
Dinner.
How has this not happened?
I don't know. We still need to do this. Yeah. We need to have her back on the show, and your father.
We should
like,
we should talk off air or whatever,
yeah,
but
we'll figure something out.
We should do something for New Year's. Come by and party or whatever.
I would be down for
something
that.
Like
I'd
that.
be down for that.
Yeah, man. But as to like, so as far as the favorite gifts I've ever given, that's, you know, the drum head, that's up there. Like we've gotten my dad, like, you know, his truck that he used to have, that was through my mom, though. So that was even cool to, you know, because it's one of the first times that he'd ever gotten a new car, you know. Trying to think.
I just realized I asked you that question without having an answer myself.
Oh,
well, one of them I will say one of my favorite gifts I've ever given was to my sister,
Mhm.
Katie. There was there was this particular well, you know, Jesus Christ. I mean, we can tell this story. We walked around the fucking you and I both went to the fucking mall tonight to go Christmas shopping, and malls aren't what they used to be.
Yeah, not at all.
Malls are not what they
Yeah.
used to be, and that's very sad for me
Mhm.
because I mean, you work in the mall, so
Yeah.
of course you are one, but I was always a mall rat.
Mm.
You know, I always used to like hang out in the mall and shit like that, and there used to be a store in the mall called Things Remembered,
Oh yeah,
where you could get things like engraved.
yeah.
And you know, it was really good for like weddings and you know, all this different stuff, but it was good for Christmas too.
Yeah.
And there was this there's this one song called by Trans-Siberian Orchestra called Christmas Dreams that me and my sister Katie particularly love. And I got her a necklace one year with Christmas Dreams engraved on it. And I know it was one of those things I know she never saw coming.
That's the best.
Those are the best.
That's yeah.
And that's what I always say. That's my favorite thing about gift giving is finding the thing the person doesn't even know that they want.
Yeah.
Figuring that out.
Yeah.
Like is my favorite thing. And I'm usually very successful at it. Like year to year, I'm fucking a bad motherfucker at that shit. But
well, that was what the drum head for me was.
Yeah,
like,
no, that's exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because as soon as he saw it, he was just like, "Oh my gosh!" Like he was like, you know, like I said, like I don't really see him tear up that much, but like just that was that was one of those moments, man, where it was like
that's definitely gonna be. I've never been able to pull that off, so that's definitely gonna be a future goal. How do I make them cry?
Which is, it's such a weird, but at the same time, like it's kind of easy because like, you know, I mean, on the one hand, like you kind of know what they want, like what they ask for.
It is kind of easy, but you got to go deeper.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, because you know, but at least with my family, and I hope I didn't interrupt you.
No, not at all. Not at all.
But like, one of the things that I've kind of caught on to is, and this might be saying too much because they might be watching, but what I usually do is, you know, because like with my family, the last few years, we've done this thing where we all, because there's enough of us now where we draw names for things, and like, so all of us get like one other person in the family, and then we kind of like get gifts for them and stuff. So instead of like a whole big like buy for everybody, you would just kind of spend the same
like
amount.
A white elephant thing.
Yeah, kind of sort of like
sorta.
Yeah, like you spend the same amount, but like everybody puts a list together. It's like an Amazon deal, or like you could put like links and stuff. So there's enough of us now to where we can you know do it and have enough of us to you know to link up and it be different every year, you know, like for a few years at least. So one of my favorite things is I was like looking at the list, and then like you said, kind of like going a little further, being like, okay, like, but what do you really want? Like, what are you really trying to tell me? Like, you know, like what is it? It's like, okay, there's this, but there's also this. And like, if you like keep kind of looking a little bit, you're like, oh, that's way better. Like that's, you know what I mean? Like, like taking the things that they asked for and being like, okay, like, maybe this instead, maybe like, you know, exactly. Or saying like, okay, that's cool, I'll get you like one or two of those, but in addition, there's also going to be this thing, which is gonna just
blow your mind.
just get, yeah, it's gonna be the cherry on top. Like
Yeah.
it's so
Exactly, dude. Yes. I don't know how long we've been going.
I don't either because there's no timer.
There's
on
no
Zoom.
timer here.
I don't know.
And I don't remember when we started.
I imagine it's probably been like an hour and a half.
All right.
Feels like that. You want to stop real quick?
You know what? Let's pause.
All right.
Uh,
See what you want to switch over to.
I don't even know if I want to pause though, because that would mean this meeting ends, and that means people can't call into the same meeting in case anybody wants to call in.
Oh well.
I could just cut all this out.
All right. So that's
there
the
we go.
cut point. If anybody else messages, because that's what I've been watching for too, to
Yeah,
see if
I've
the
been
others have, and so
waiting.
far haven't really heard anything. So
But at the same time, to them, it's only 9 o'clock. So
yeah, I don't know. I'd say if we do get a message, maybe we could figure out and just go hop back on this or something.
we definitely got to have a closing thing though.
Yeah. Well, what do
Um,
you like? Is this like the end of the episode, like end of the whole episode, or is there anything else you want to go into, or
I mean, unless anybody else calls in, I don't know where else to go.
yeah?
Well, other than the shit that I sent you, we could go through some of that. Or
Oh wait, I got a couple of things,
okay,
a couple of like favorite things we could probably roll into, like movies and shit, like
all right,
that type of thing.
Well, let's just keep this going then. I'm gonna
Okay.
take a piss.
Oh, you wanna hop on over to the other one, or
We'll just keep this going.
keep it going? All right, yeah,
Just keep it going.
Yeah.
Fuck it. I'll cut all this out.
all right. Well, I guess I'll keep this show rolling while you're draining the main vein. No, but I usually, because we're getting close to the end of the year. It's been an interesting year, especially with with 2020 being what it is, and then this year trying to kind of like make up for all that. Like, I guess I just want to say sincerely, for anybody that we've talked to, anybody that's been on the show, any shows that we've been to or met any of you guys, just it means the world to us to have you guys on and to call you guys friends of the show and just friends in general, man. Like, it's, we talk about it all the time, how significant it is for everybody to to be on this and to have this family and the Crypt Crew and all that stuff. Hoping to do a little bit more with that in the coming months. As far as maybe a little bit more merch stuff, a little bit more of that stuff. But that's all with you guys in mind, and that's all just to give that just to give that appreciation for you guys hanging out. And if you're watching this, leave a comment of your favorite memories of Christmas, or just anything this time of year, any traditions that you guys might have. We're always looking for more interaction stuff, so we can kind of know what we're looking at and what we're who we're talking to. And we just want to say what's up, and we want you guys to to know that whatever you post and whatever you comment on, we'll always get back to you, and we'll always have a message for you and stuff. And so, but we greatly appreciate the support, as always. We appreciate the the time that it takes for you guys to take times out of your days, the ones that have been on the show, to be with us and to give us your hour or 2 hours. And so wanted to say thanks for that. And to like I said, if you have anything you want to put in the comments or anything like that will is just kind of goes along with what we're talking about, let's start the conversation. Let's just have some fun with it, but for myself, for BJ, just thank you for the support throughout the year. This year has been, on the heels of 2020 being what it was, and trying to figure out what to do with the year and trying to figure out where to go from where we were. I mean, if you've been watching for long enough, kind of where we've gotten to at this point. And so it really means a lot to us and to, to me and to you, I'm sure, as far as, the support and everybody, just the bands that want to be on the show, everybody throughout the year that we've met at shows, any of the ones that we've had on that just, all that kind of stuff. I'm just kind of riffing right now.
No,
so, but it's, genuinely, like it's the gift that keeps on giving, I suppose, as far like if we're, going with the whole festivus, whatever you want to call it.
Festivus for the rest of us.
Yeah.
It is.
It
is fucking crazy. Like,
we really, just hope to keep it going.
Yeah. Like it's yeah, no, I don't know how else to put it. Like this year has just been, I mean,
it's like a kind of, you almost had to like refresh a little bit. At least I had to, because of, all the stuff that happened, the year before, and then now trying to rebuild and trying to figure out like what, I don't know. I guess not to get too far into that kind of downer stuff. It just to be in a space right now where, like the Halloween show has been what it was pretty much since then. We've kind of been on the up and up, and we've been doing a lot of stuff, and a lot of people have reached out and everything. We've been doing a lot of really cool episodes and talking to a lot of, really cool, awesome bands, and got into a lot of different stuff. I think that, I don't know, I'm pretty excited about where it's going and who we're going to talk to next year, and talking about, I guess we'll get more into this in the end of the year.
Yeah.
This is a little
We
more
do
of
still
that.
have one more episode before the end of the year.
Yeah. Which is going to kind of wrap it all up, I suppose.
But there's no question. I know where you're going. There's no question that.
Yeah.
We. This thing has gotten, and I know. We don't have like 1,000 subscribers or followers on anything. We're not very, it's not crazy or anything, but like the people that have reached out, the people that have wanted to be on, the people that we have met in person after being on the show, and all these different things, people that we've gotten to see live, and all these different things. This year, look, how long have we been doing this? Like this will, March will be like the 4th or 5th year. I can't fucking remember right now. It'll be like the 4th or 5th year. And this was the first year that we finally, I feel like, saw like any kind of recognition, and it would like people remembered us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we finally got to meet people that were on the show, and they like knew who we were. And the pandemic forced us to be on video, so that changed a lot. And it's just all these different crazy fucking factors that came involved. Christmas is the time, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's is the time to give thanks and to be appreciative, and that's what we're doing right now. Yeah. And it's just like, I mean, who would ever thought that anybody would, ever listen to this? But yet, some of the messages that we get from certain people, and you know who you are, sometimes that's what keeps us going, like sometimes, yeah. We've gotten some messages recently from certain bands. You guys know, and you know how much we love you. And, for a long time, we just thought we were talking into a void, and apparently we weren't.
Yeah.
Apparently people were listening, and now apparently more people are listening than ever and paying attention than ever. And it just I it's crazy to me. It's just it's like I mean all I can say is at least we're not underground anymore.
both like in
we were in the basement the whole time until now.
Both in a number sense and literally, like we're moving up.
We are moving up. We are moving up. And but that's the other part though, is that we're doing it the best. I feel like we're doing it the best way. We're doing it organically. And I absolutely refuse to use any like cheap shots to get followers on any social media. And I just want this shit to grow naturally.
Yeah.
And it has been. And you know, I just it's crazy to me. It's crazy to me that you know, we originally, you know, but also at the end of the day, we set out on the one hand, I set out on a selfish endeavor to capture conversations with my best friends that I thought would be cool, that I just wanted to keep forever for myself, that I never thought anybody would listen to. But then on the other hand, I want to at this point, like, give people like a platform.
Yeah.
You know, to talk on and be just genuinely open and positive, and like it's all fucking to bring this like mentality of metal as a family, you know, all of us together. No elitism, no like I whatever you like, hey. Like even if I'm not terribly into it, I appreciate that you like it. You know what I mean? Kind of a thing. So
yeah.
I don't know where I'm going with that, but we're just at the end of the day, it's just kind of trying to give back to the community that gave us a place to go to when we were, you know, I feel like I can speak for both of us here when I can say the community that gave us so much when we've been out at our lowest and had nowhere else to go, and then we turned on just the right song that brought us out of that. And so we're just trying to give a place for those people that gave that to us, you know.
You want to get into some more Christmassy stuff?
Yeah, we probably should. I kind of doubt anybody's gonna call in at this point.
Well, hey, like the only reason I started that was just to kind of, you know, I don't know. I feel like that's something important that I wanted to say, as far as, you know, just because we always love the, you know, hearing from different bands, of different people that have been on the show and stuff, and just from newer people, and just, you know, the fact that we had a couple of people on at the start or wherever they end up in the episode, that like, you know, never really met before, only really knew from and it was just a weird like cycle of things that led us to here and stuff. And so it's just, you know, I'm very like, I don't know, this time of the year I get really I don't know, it's nice to look back at things. It's nice to kind of like take stock in things that have happened, and to kind of, you know, because it's, you know, just it's the reason that you do things. And it always, like, if I can look back at the year behind and be hopeful for the next, is something that I always try to hang on to a little bit.
And it's also the kind of thing, it's weird because it's like hard.
Oh yeah.
In a way, you know what I mean? It's like how do I put it? It's very rare that that anything that you're doing gets reflected back at you in any way.
Mhm.
Like I mean, any person watching this right now, like you go to work every day, right? Like how often is that work reflected back at you? How often does someone say you're doing a good job or you're doing a bad job?
Yeah.
You know, how often does any of that? It very rarely happen.
Yeah.
And so, like, for us doing this podcast, it's extraordinarily rare we get positive or negative feedback.
Yeah.
And so we just don't know. We're just going. And that's all it is to us. And you know, so whenever we do get people wanting to be on that positive feedback, it's just like it's the world to us. It's like it really I mean, and for you, you're in, you know, of course, Bogwraith has followers around the world, you know. So, you know, I know you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like, and it's just, but it's for this, it's just very weird. What
It's weird, but it's in the best way because
Yeah,
we started this without even
Zero
thinking that-
intentions.
Yeah.
Zero intentions.
Yeah. So
yeah, we should get into some
Yeah.
Christmas stuff.
Well,
we have done a lot of Christmas stuff though.
yeah. Well, I wanted to get into some like, so like, and I feel like we may have covered this previously, but whatever. It's New Year, whatever. Do you have like a top 3 or 5 Christmas movies that you always watch, or like things that you always watch that just kind of gets you in the mood for it? Or
Yes.
yeah.
Well, number one is obviously Christmas Story.
Oh yeah.
I feel like it's got to be everybody's number one.
I always watch that at least once a year, and it's always on Christmas.
Christmas Story has got to be everybody's number one. It's that for me, that's number one based on tradition.
Yeah.
But for number one for me personally, like the thing I have to watch on Christmas every year, just because I love it, is Jim Carrey's Grinch.
Okay.
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch.
That's a good one.
Like,
yeah,
like his answering machine scene. Like,
Yeah.
if you leave so much as a syllable of an answering machine, I will gut you like a fish.
Yeah.
Like that cracks me up every time.
Yeah.
I love Jim Carrey's Grinch. I love A Christmas Story.
Jim Carrey's though.
Jim Carrey's though. And I love the claymation shit. The Rudolph, the Year Without a Santa Claus. I love that stuff too. But really, honestly, Christmas Story, Grinch, and then Trans-Siberian Orchestra all day.
Oh, okay.
Like that's kind of what it is for me.
Nice. Yeah.
What about you?
Well, there's a couple. A few of them I still need to watch. I love. I will forever. Like it's not so much anymore. It used to be really underrated, but it isn't now. I feel like the movie Jingle All the Way.
Tim Allen?
No, that's the Santa Claus. Jingle All the Way is with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sinbad.
Oh, so okay, yep. All right.
Bro, I love that movie. I love that movie so much. Like I watched it a couple of times a year. Like me and my sister always watch it all the time. Like it's one of those where like we could, like, if you sit down, you probably won't even watch the whole movie because we're just quoting it the whole time. Because it's just one of those that we could just go back and forth about lines on it.
I
So
want to check that out.
dude, it's one of my favorites. Like, and it's such a simple setup of like you know, just like a dad that just like wants to get something really special for his kid that he's been kind of like, you know, he's been kind of doing, you know, he's been in his own kind of like businessy type of stuff for a little while. But then decides that like he wants to, but it's the day before Christmas that he's trying to find this toy that's like, it's like somebody trying to find the new iPhone the day before Christmas. Like it doesn't exist. So there's that movie. There's the National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, which is always a staple in my house. We always watch that movie a couple times a year. There's something about the you know, because it was like kind of one of the first like I guess like adult Christmas movies I ever remember seeing, because it was like towards the end of it, it gets pretty like, I don't know if like raunchy is the right word, but it gets kind of like, you know, I mean, you've seen it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like there are moments of it where it's like, I don't feel like kids should be watching this, but it was like one of those that like I remember so much of. So that's one. Elf with
that's
Will
another
Ferrell.
one. Yep.
That movie just kills me every time. Like there's certain bits of it where like, you know, because and like especially now because there's that Movies That Made Us that's out about that movie.
Yep.
And ever since I watched that, I picked up so much on it that it just makes me appreciate it much more, just as a traditional Christmas movie than I did before, I think. Because it does, like, you know, it starts pretty strong, and then like in the middle of it, it kind of like, you know, you're not really sure where it goes and stuff, and then it has a pretty strong ending and stuff. So I always really like that one. I feel like there's a couple others I'm not thinking of. The Grinch is a good one. I feel like I watched that one.
You're a mean one.
Yeah.
Mr. Grinch. Really are near.
They're not so much like staple favorites of mine, but they are ones that I feel like I watch at least like one. Well, Christmas Story is pretty obvious. That's like
You'll see dry out.
Yeah. The bit I always like in that movie is the two kids that are like bullying him the whole time.
Yeah.
Like any scene that they're in is hilarious to me. Like the one where the one kid like punches the other one in the arm, and then he just socks him in the other arm. He's like, ow, or whatever. Like, and then like his laugh and stuff. And when Santa kicks him down the fucking slide.
Yep.
Like,
You'll shoot your eye
out.
out. Yeah.
Or like when he then when he swears in front of his dad for the first time, and he like puts the bar of soap in his mouth. When I was a kid, whenever I would like, I don't know, whenever I would say something or like start getting a certain way, they're like, I'm gonna wash your mouth out with soap.
Yep. Same.
Yeah. So there's that one, and then the last one's kind of a tie between, because the Santa Claus, the Tim Allen movie you were talking about, the second and the third one are meh. Like they're all right, but the first one I feel like is so like a bit more believable than the others, I guess.
Okay.
Like it's a little more grounded in reality, sort of, kind of, because they go to the North Pole and stuff, and there's the big like circle thing that spins down from the ceiling.
Yep, I remember that.
Which is how they get in, and that's kind of how they figure out. And it's the Santa Claus and not the Santa Claus. Like it's like a play on words. Yeah. And then the fifth one, which until recently has kind of become a favorite, is I was about to say Nightmare on Elm Street. Nightmare Before Christmas.
That's where I was gonna go. Yep.
Because that movie is as much of like I could enjoy it at Christmas and at Halloween. Like it's just one of those that I feel like is pretty interchangeable. But that one, like up until recently, like I said, because I guess I kind of more associated it as just being a Halloween movie. But really kind of, you know, towards the end of it, I mean it's still
totally a Christmas and Halloween movie.
Yeah. But I just
Mr. Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Come up real tight.
Yeah. Like I have such a respect for that movie. That was one of the other ones that was on that Movies That Made Us.
Genius.
Yeah, like, and just knowing how much time went into it, and just like, you
I
know,
mean, Jack is on the top of this Christmas tree right here.
I fuck with it.
So
Yeah. So those are probably my 5 of like the ones that I feel like I have to watch every year. I mean, there's, you know, like there's Christmas with the Cranks, which is pretty good. There's Deck the Halls with
I don't watch any of those.
Danny DeVito, who's trying to he's trying to make all the lights on his house be seen from the space station, from the satellites in space.
Jesus Christ.
Which is pretty funny. Christmas with the Cranks is another Tim Allen movie with Jamie Lee Curtis, where they decide to cancel Christmas and everybody's like flipping out at them, and they become like the villains of the town and stuff. And I don't know. There's a few others, but those are kind of the top 5.
Krampus.
Yeah. Well, I haven't seen that. I don't think I've ever seen that movie. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen Krampus before.
What?
Yeah.
Dude. What?
I'm aware of it. I've seen bits of it, but I've never actually seen that movie. So that I know. And like hey, secret time, I suppose.
Secret time.
As it were. Yeah, I don't know. Like but every year since I've heard about it, I'm like, I should check that out. I should watch that. And I never do. And because I'm busy watching the other ones. And
you really should.
Yeah.
Watch that one, bro. Like it's kind of funny because I just heard a Joss episode where they're like, I couldn't do Krampus. I was like, really? Like that's kind of tight.
Yeah.
But yeah. No, yeah, Krampus is definitely one of my nightmare. Grinch, Christmas Story, Shakespeare Orchestra. These are kind of my main things every year.
There's it's been like 2 or 3 nights that I've come by and you've been playing TSO on TV.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it just gets you in the mood.
It really does.
It's like, yeah.
It really does.
We always like, and I guess the other thing I was going to get into, unless you had any movies or anything like that, anything else you wanted to?
No, not really. I mean, besides like I do. Well, back when it was on Netflix, I used to go through and watch all like the Christmas Office episodes.
Oh yeah. Those are some of my favoriits.
Mine too.
Like next to the Halloween episodes, those are probably like.
Those and there is a great Trailer Park Boys. It's like a movie, but it's a Christmas thing.
Yeah,
that I like a lot.
Dude, I know there's others that are like a little better than this one, but for whatever reason, the Yankee Swap episode of The Office,
yeah,
where like it cracks me up every time. Like it just it's so good, and it like. It's, because like I feel like we've all kind of, like office or like just like work Christmas parties are always kind of awkward.
Yeah.
Sometimes like, because you get gifts. Sometimes you're getting gifts for somebody that you don't necessarily know super well. And so that just kind of like that spoke to all of those like weird, weird moments of like, like just wanting to have just this thing where like I could trade this for that. Like I could and then the ultimate ending of that episode was the when he goes and buys like 12 bottles of tequila from the liquor store.
Is this enough to get 15 people drunk? Yeah, I think it should be enough.
Yeah. So that one's always one of my favorite. And like, he's bringing in the tree in the front and it doesn't fit in the office, so they gotta like back it out. He's like, take it back, take it.
They chop off the top of it.
Yeah. God, I almost forgot about some of those.
Oh, those are great episodes.
Yeah, Jesus.
I have no idea how long we've been going.
I don't either. Well, I'm good to wrap up if you're.
Yeah, I don't think we're getting any more call-ins, sadly.
No.
We were hoping to have a few more, everybody,
Yeah.
but
Hey,
it's all good.
holiday
It's all
season.
good. It's
Everyone's
holiday
busy.
season, and at the end of the day, everybody that was gonna call in tonight, we'll get them back on early next year.
Just know that we appreciate you.
Yes,
Love
all
you.
of you.
Yes.
Oh my God, so much. Everybody this year, and this is not the final year episode, but everybody this year that has been on the show, supported us in any way, shape, or form. From the bottom of our hearts, absolutely. We can never thank you enough for the support. Actually, I do have one more thing.
Yeah.
Because when we sent out the word to everyone, we asked for their best Christmas story and or their best ghost story. Because let's be real, you know, in ancient in tradition, Christmas is a time to tell ghost stories. You know, ghosts are an integral part of the Christmas tradition.
Ghost of Christmas Past.
Exactly. A Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
There are many
Scrooge.
songs that reference it.
Yeah.
And all these things. And Josh, my roommate, who I wish was sitting here with me right now, reminded me.
Yeah. You were on something earlier.
He reminded me of something. So he knew someone. I'm not going to use names, but he knew someone. Let's call her S. He knew S at one point. Him and I both did. Honestly, we were friends. You know.
Yeah.
Kind of stuff. Like I feel like if I were to see this person today, I'd it'd be, hey, what's up? You know, I'll be good. You know, these are friends of ours.
Mutual. Yeah.
It's just been a long time since we've seen each other, you know. But of course, everybody, pandemic, you know.
Yeah.
But one year, many years ago. Yeah, way longer than when I got. Yeah, many years ago. This person wanted us to investigate a place that they were residing in. It was an apartment.
Oh yeah.
And
just looking at that picture, it kind of.
And we did, and we didn't really come up with anything. They said they were having certain experiences. We didn't really have a particular one. But then at one point, they were watching their niece. See that? See that?
Oh my God. Yeah. Holy fuck, dude.
What is that?
That's looks like a face.
Yep. So at one point they were watching.
I wasn't sure when I was looking at it
Right.
first, but
Right.
holy shit.
At one point they were watching their niece. And the reason why I bring this up specifically is because Josh reminded me earlier tonight that there was a Christmas tree in the background. So it's a Christmas ghost story. And they took a picture of their niece. And this is what they captured. And I will do my best to show it to you all now. Okay.
Yeah.
So narrate me, Aaron. This is the main picture.
So that's, yeah, we're looking at the main picture. But if you see, dude, that is weird, man. Yeah.
And then I'll show you.
If you see down in the corner there.
A little bit more.
Yeah. Oh my God, dude, that's so defined. That is crazy.
And now full blast. In the bottom,
You can't
I guess in the picture right or left of her face.
Yeah.
There is a face
Jesus.
in the image. So one more time, I will right here zoom it out for you live on camera. Okay. See what I'm talking about?
Then zoom out the whole thing. Wow.
The fuck is that, people? The fuck is that?
Yeah. That's wild.
So
That is wild.
That is a picture. That is a picture I've had on my phone for quite some time. And it's quite. I remember the first time I ever saw this. I got goosebumps.
Yeah.
I was looking.
I don't know how to explain that.
Yeah, I was looking like over up in the dark there for something, but it's like just it's quite literally in your face. Yeah, like wow.
I
don't know what to make of that.
I got nothing on that one.
Yeah.
I don't the only possibility is maybe trying to explain it rational. Okay. Coming at it from a rational point.
Good luck.
Maybe the person being photographed like moved and like started with their eyes closed, but I don't know why the head would be so much smaller. The hair split matches. So like you see how where their hair is going in certain directions and their hair is going in certain directions. That matches.
Yeah.
So maybe, but at the same time, I don't know how you like.
It's so defined.
Even with a digital camera, I don't know how you would move from this position to this position and have them both be caught like that.
Yeah.
That's not. I took a photography class in high school. That's not normal shit.
Yeah.
Like that is, I mean.
Oh man, that's weird. That is so weird.
Yeah.
Oh. I don't know what to do with that.
Yeah, I don't know either, but I will never forget.
It makes me like, oh.
We got sent that image one night and we were like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And this is someone who had I can't remember if she had been on an investigation with us or if we investigated one of her places or something. It was something to the degree of that. She was aware of our investigative situation. But yeah, she sent us that and it blew our minds. So that is, and I'll show it to you all one more time. So this is the picture raw. That's just the raw picture. All right.
I can't unsee it.
And zoom in a little bit more.
Yeah.
And then zoom in on the actual.
If anybody has any idea what that is.
So see what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Zoom back out. Boom. So.
Ugh. Gosh.
It is quite bizarre.
Yeah.
Like it is when it comes to photographs of spirits, the weird part is that I've seen a lot that are like this. Like I've seen a lot of where they're like ducking behind people.
Yeah.
You know, like that.
Yeah.
Like I've seen a lot that are reminiscent of this sort of a thing, which makes me think I definitely don't think this is in any way, shape, or form faked.
Right.
But could it be a glitch of the camera? That's the only thing I'm questioning. And I'm gonna be honest, dude.
I don't know how even a glitch could do that.
I don't know.
To place it where it's at and to have it be
not just to place it where it's at, but to have it be the size that it is versus the main face.
Yeah.
That makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
That doesn't seem possible.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
I can't explain it.
Yeah.
All I can say is I can't explain it.
Yeah.
That's all I can say. So, and there's a Christmas tree in the background. So, and
hey.
Josh reminded me of it earlier, and so
Man.
I had to.
Yeah.
I wanted to bring it up because I was like, that's actually a Christmas ghost story in a sense.
Hey.
So,
Yeah.
And I don't even remember what year. Like this was many years ago now. It was probably 3 or 4 years ago now that picture was taken. But
seems like I remember you showing me that before, and like a long time ago when you first got it, and just having the same response to it of like, what is that?
I that's what I got nothing for.
Yeah.
That's when I got nothing for. And just to end us, because Christmas, as we have clearly established, is a time traditionally, if you go back in Christmas history, traditionally Christmas is a time to tell ghost stories. Whether it was your personal experience or whether it was just a story you ever heard, what would you say your favorite ghost story is?
I don't know. I don't know if I have one, to be honest with you. You got one? You got one?
I don't know if it's my favorite, but I do have kind of a good one. I have this one.
Think about this.
I'll tell mine. You think about it. So growing up, my mother's side of the family. So my dad's side of the family, of course, were the Barger stocks. My mother's side of the family is the Megasees. And my grandmother always told this story of this house that they lived in before the house that I kind of grew up in, because I kind of grew up in my grandparents' houses. And she would tell the story. My grandpa, both of them did this, but my grandpa Megasee worked in the GM plants in Detroit. And grandma lived, I want to say at this point in time, either in Taylor or Dearborn or something like that. And there was this one night where she was awake late reading a book.
Yeah.
And she didn't hear any doors open or anything as far as I remember. But she heard footsteps coming down the hallway.
Mm-hmm.
My grandfather's name was Jim. And she heard these footsteps coming towards the bedroom. She would go, Jim?
Mm-hmm.
Jim, is that you? No answer. And she heard him again. Jim, is that you? No answer. And she did this 2 or 3 more times. And now, this would have been probably roughly sometime probably in the 80s. And she knew that in the nightstand right next to her, there was a gun. Because, hey, we're living right outside of Detroit,
Yeah.
Everybody's got a gun.
Yeah.
And she was so scared because she was hearing these footsteps, clear as day, coming down the hallway, but no one was answering. She was so petrified that she couldn't move. She couldn't reach to grab the gun, nothing. She was just so scared that her whole body was still.
Mm.
And nothing ever came. And then about like, I can't remember the exact timeline, but I would assume like 30, 40 minutes later, she heard the door open. My grandfather arrived home from work.
Mm.
And she told him what happened. And he didn't really make anything of it. But she heard that clear as day, footsteps coming down the hallway. And Grandpa wasn't there yet. And all my mother, my aunts and uncles, her brothers and sisters, were all asleep in their rooms. Nobody was moving. And she heard these very distinct footsteps coming down the hallway. And now, granted, I kind of came up with that story. Like that story was told to me at a very young age. I kind of like grew up with that story in a lot of ways. And then many, many, many years later, when my family, my intermediate family, finally moved up to East Lansing when we were living on Chartwell.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember, because you didn't really know me at this point in time. You only knew me when I lived in the basement. But there was a point in time where you walk up the stairs and my room was the first one on the right.
Okay.
And the entire upstairs was carpeted. So you walk up the stairs. My room is immediately on the right. You walk about 2 or 3 more steps. On the right is the bathroom. You walk about 1 more step. On the left is my parents' master bedroom. And then dead in front of you is like a double bedroom, which is what my sisters used as their bedroom. They had bunk beds and shit. I don't remember what year it was. I don't remember if Grace was born yet. I almost want to say she wasn't. So that would mean that this was, we moved up here about 1998. And Grace was born in December of 2002. So if this happened before she was born, it would have been in between there somewhere.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure it did happen before she was born. And I only ever had 2 experiences in this house, and this was one of them. But there was one night where I was trying to fall asleep in my room upstairs in that house. Again, the entire upstairs is fucking carpeted. And not like, I'm talking OG carpeted. I'm talking like carpet, layer, then wood floor.
Then, yeah.
You know what I mean? They had the foam thing underneath the carpet. So it was thick.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like insulation type shit.
Mm-hmm. Foam.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting in bed one night trying to fall asleep. And I swear on everything that I believe in, what I heard were cowboy boots, basically boots, hardcore boots, cowboy boots, hitting a wooden floor up. Like the heel and the tip hitting. Cowboy boots hitting a wooden floor, walking up and down my hallway right outside my bedroom door. My bedroom door was open, so I could see out there. Not only that, the hallway light was on. So I could positively see that there was no one there.
Mhm.
But I was hearing boots hitting a wooden floor in my carpeted lit hallway,
That's crazy.
walking up and down.
Yeah.
And I was so scared that I couldn't even move.
Mhm.
Like I couldn't move. And eventually they stopped. And I got enough courage to like run into my parents' room and be like, oh my God,
Yeah.
but I was a kid, I was still very little, but like I definitely heard that, like without question.
Mhm.
It wasn't sleep paralysis. I was very awake.
Yeah.
I was very awake. Like I remember moving around, like I remember like curling up into the corner, like the whole thing. I was very awake. And that's probably one of the wilder ghost stories because it had precedent in my family.
Mhm.
I grew up on, and I know some people might say, oh, you grew up on that ghost story, so you'll hear it, or whatever. No, like that is not
Right.
what this was. Like, yes, I did grow up on a ghost story like that, but then I heard it literally for myself. And my grandmother, that's the other part I forgot to mention. My grandmother's house, her whole house was always carpeted.
Mhm.
And she described the footsteps as boots hitting a wooden floor,
Yeah.
not carpeted.
That's the thing that
So-
kind of sticks with me from that story is like,
That she described it that way. And that's the
Yeah.
thing I forgot to mention. And so like there was something I look, I don't know what,
Mhm.
I'm not putting any eggs in any baskets, but all I'm saying is that we both experience, that is what we both experienced. That's all I can say. That's all I can say. I can't say what it was. Like, I'm not going to venture any guesses. I'm not going to make any assumptions. All I can tell you is the experiences that we had. And those are them.
Yeah.
Like, that's what it is. That's just what it is. Like, we had my grandmother and I both had those experiences.
well, for both of you to have this like a similar experience as far as like sonically, as far as like hearing the same thing and like, because like I was saying, like just the sound of steps on a wood floor is so distinct.
It's so distinct.
It's so defined that like, like you can't like even if you tried to on carpet, you couldn't. Like it's such
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
It's literally impossible.
Yeah. So that's wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's absolutely no question.
Mhm.
That is what I heard.
Yeah.
The only other thing I ever experienced in that house was when I moved down to the basement. And there
I
was
remember this.
Yeah, there was one morning because this was in high school. So I'm getting up, getting ready for high school at like 5-6 o'clock in the morning. And I go upstairs, I take a shower, I come back downstairs to my bedroom to get dressed. And I always, like at that point in time, I did everything in the dark. I didn't turn on any lights. I didn't want any lights on until I got to school.
Yeah.
I just wanted to be in the dark until I got to school.
Mhm.
And I was in the basement, and the way shit was set up, it's hard to explain, but like my bedroom was in one spot, and then right on the other side of my bedroom was like the cat litter and the cat food and the cat area. And there was always a light on there. And that was like side by side to my bedroom. And then on the opposite wall was like a dresser with a mirror. And so like it would reflect the light that was on above the cat stuff off the mirror, and it would reflect a line, just like a skinny line of light into my bedroom. And one morning I was down there and I saw a shadow pass by that light distinctly, 100%. Like a shadow blocked out that light for a second, like walked by without question. And so I tested it. I went and tested it. I was like, okay, like how can that happen? And through all my tests, the only way that could have happened is if someone my size or taller walked by a very specific spot in my basement to block out that light.
Mm-hmm.
And there were no dressers. There was nothing. The only spot that could have blocked out that light at that angle, there was nothing for cats or dogs or anything to have done it. There was nothing except a person walking by to have done it. Nothing.
No.
So I to this day cannot explain that. I don't know what happened there.
Yeah.
But those are the only two things that I ever experienced in that house.
Mm.
That's it.
I kind of vaguely remember how that basement was set up, but that was kind of one of the things is like I always remember there was like you could always kind of see some kind of reflection or whatever from something, but it was hard to kind of tell from where. And like, you know, if just like, you know, it was pretty obvious that like it was just kind of like an enclosed space, like there wasn't anything that you could do to, you know, reflect that or like make that happen.
Like because okay, so you remember you walk down the stairs, immediately to the right is my room.
Yeah.
And it's like a box.
Yeah.
And then, but if you keep going straight past my room, to the right is the cat stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the light was.
Yeah.
But when you walk straight down the stairs and my door is to the right, to your left, immediately against the wall was that dresser with the mirror.
Yeah.
So that's what was reflecting the light into my room.
Oh.
And something blocked that light out.
Mm-hmm.
I literally watched it. Like, dude, I saw it with my own eyes. Like it walked by. Something walked by. And when I fucking tested it, the only thing that could have done it was something my height, about 6 feet tall. I'm 5'11", but about 6 feet tall. Walk by a very specific area where there was nowhere, absolutely nowhere for a cat or any animal or anything to block out that light in the way that it did.
Yeah.
There's absolutely nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in all the fucking years I lived there, those are the only two things I ever experienced. Footsteps upstairs one night and a shadow another night. That was it.
Yeah.
That was it. The whole time I ever lived there, that was it. I never experienced anything else. But well, besides, I did have but this is common. Like I did have 2 bouts of sleep paralysis when I lived there. Well, I think actually it was after I lived there, and I went back to like my room was like my room was like filled with shit, or my old room or whatever was like filled with shit. So like I had to sleep in my sister's old room, and so it was like a weird, like it's very common with sleep paralysis that it happens in new environments when you're sleeping in new environments. So I had a couple bouts of sleep paralysis.
Yeah.
But those are the only times of sleep paralysis I've ever had in my life.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
And I never hallucinated.
Mm-hmm.
It was never like, I never saw shadow people. It was literally just like, I knew I was awake, but I couldn't move.
Yeah.
Kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Like it was never like paranormal situation. And you know what? I'll say it right here. I've taken acid. I've taken mushrooms. I have smoked tremendous amounts of weed and drank tremendous amounts of alcohol. And never on any drug ever have I experienced a hallucination.
Mm.
Even on acid. Like, I've never hallucinated. Like, nothing has ever made me hallucinate.
Yeah.
Ever. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that means. I don't know anything about that. But what I do know is that drugs don't make me hallucinate. So if I'm seeing, and everything that I just told you was long before I ever did any of that shit.
Right.
So, you know, I don't know what any of that is.
Yeah, that's weird.
It is weird. It is weird.
I don't know how to explain a lot of that.
That's why it sticks out in my brain.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I always wonder because we had because obviously like we moved away from the house that we were at, which is like a block away, not even. And like I always wonder if I don't know, like if, because I always, for whatever reason, like the old house that we used to live in, I always remember it being, I always just used to have like super vivid dreams there about just things, like just like, you know, like, I don't know, specifics, I guess, but like, cause it's been a long time. Like we've been out of that place about like, you know, like at least 10 years now. Like we've been at my new house. But I always like, I have such a weird, I mean, obviously because it was like my childhood house, but it was also the kind of thing where like, I don't know, like I just felt like there were just certain moments where I felt like there was something there, possibly, you know what I mean? Like just the way it was all set up, like the way that like I saw the hallways, the way that like my dreams used to be, where like I would like walk out of my room and just see like this big old long hallway and like you know, like, but to my parents' room, like as soon as you walk out of the door, I don't even know why I'm remembering this now. Like as I walked out of the door, like straight ahead, there was a big old long hallway, kind of like I don't know, like it wasn't super long, but it was long enough to know that, you know, like something could have been through there or whatever. But like, I don't know, like most of the time when I have the, you know, like certain vivid dreams, I always kind of go back to that place, of like, you know, the old house we used to live in and stuff. I guess like the only thing I can really equate to what you're saying is a while back, somebody from an old band I was in told me that whoever they were with at the time, their grandma had passed away in that house because she was cleaning the bathroom, and she like, there was a bunch of chemicals and stuff going around, and like she went out on the front porch and eventually died there, I think is how it went. I'm not certain on that. I'm sure I've told this story on the podcast before.
I don't recognize this.
It was, yeah, I don't know. I guess I'll tell you who it was after. But there was that, but there's also like I don't, and this might sound kind of stupid, I don't know, but it's the only thing that I can equate to it, because it's the only thing I have to go off of. So it's my cat, right?
Okay.
Like I don't.
That's not stupid at all.
No, well, so she wanders around a lot of times. She'll make noise at night. Like a lot of times, like, you know, I'll let her in, like typical cat stuff. Like she'll just kind of hang out or whatever. But whenever I go to, because my room is right by that bathroom, which is where I guess it would have happened at. I don't know if it's how, and that's the other thing, is I don't know how true the story is or not. I don't know. I don't know. I only really have one person that could even like either accept or deny that this happened. And I don't even know how to get in contact with them. But the story was convincing enough and it made enough sense to me. But I always like, So she comes in, right, and every single night I will open my door as if to let her out, and she always kind of like stares out, like she always kind of like looks around, like there's something out there or whatever. Like I'll try to force her out a little bit, and she'll kind of hesitate, like there's something standing out there. Or she'll do this thing where she'll like look out the door and kind of like around, and then like I'll try to push her, and then she'll like circle around me, like there's something behind her, like there's something like out in the hallway that she doesn't want to get to. You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
it's so weird, and it's such a specific thing, and it happens almost every night. Like she'll come in, and like she'll want out, so I'll open the door, and then like I'll try to like push her out, or like I'll try to like, just like, because I'm trying to go to sleep, like I don't want to like lock her in the door or whatever, like lock her in the room and shit.
Yeah.
And then-
Just the other night, me and Josh were looking for Resi, and I looked in my room, and I didn't see him, and then like 5 minutes later, we looked through the whole house, and I opened the door, and he ran out.
And
Yeah.
So I mean, they get stuck places,
Yeah.
but it's the type of thing where it's like it's almost like it's either every night or almost every night where like I'll like open the door, and she'll be there, and then she'll kind of sit and like do that thing where she's like looking at something, or like I feel like she'll be like looking at something, and then like I'll try to push her out, and then she'll get behind me, she'll like circle around like there's something out there, and then like I'll like put her down, and then like she'll go out eventually. But it's just weird that like it's right there, it's that specific bathroom where I think it happened, and and like, because they're like that house has been added on to before, because the whole back room and the basement and all that stuff like wasn't there. I guess it was like an addition. I guess there's like a few other people in my family that have like known people that have lived in this same house, that like that addition wasn't on there before. Like it was just the main room and then the kitchen and all that stuff. So I don't know. I don't really know what to do with it. I don't really know. So I mean, I guess it's kind of to a lesser extent of what you're talking about, as far as like hearing like footsteps and stuff. But I have a hard time believing that it's just kind of nothing. Like I think that, and if it is anything, I don't think it's harmful, because we've lived there for about 10 or so years, and this is kind of the first that I'm like piecing it together a little bit. But I'm also kind of the mind where I'm like, I don't know how much of this I want to piece together, because I still live here.
Right.
So it's like,
Yeah, it's what a lot of people are worried about.
Yeah. So I don't know. Like it's kind of to your point, is like there's only been a couple of instances, but a few of those have been enough to make me think like maybe something's, maybe I don't know, maybe there's something extra happening. Maybe there's, I don't know. It's wild, man. Like that. But as far as like ghost stories, as far as like personal experiences and stuff like that's really kind of as close as I have. And the only time I've ever experienced, like to what you're saying, the only time I've ever experienced sleep paralysis is in that house. But that was also because I didn't really understand what it was, so that could have also been part of it. Like
I didn't. Yeah.
But I have like the way it's happened with me is that, and we have been like, we are far blasted past where we want to stop at.
Yep.
But
Who fucking cares?
C'est la vie.
C'est la vie. Drink your poo.
But what was oh yeah, sleep paralysis. Like I have had like after school, like when I was still in high school, I would usually, because I would like take naps or whatever, and like it'd be like a pretty like regular, semi consistent thing. And there was a couple of times where I experienced that, and there were times where I had full blown moments of like remembering waking up, walking out into the kitchen, talking to my mom, getting something, and then walking back to my room, and that never happened. And then I would like snap awake and be like, what the fuck? What was that? Like, I don't know.
I've had similar stuff before.
Yeah. I don't know.
I know what you're saying. I
Yeah.
know what you're saying in that. Yeah, yeah.
Maybe it's different than sleep paralysis, I guess. But that also has happened there before too, like a couple of times.
Now, okay. So with what you would describe as sleep paralysis, did it happen when you were sleeping in your room, or were you sleeping in a weird spot?
No, I was in my room.
Okay.
And this is when I was in high school, so it was a good few years after we lived there, and I'd never experienced anything like that before.
This was a good few years before I knew you.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. That's interesting.
But
Yeah, I don't really know like what the whole thing of sleep paralysis is or whatever. Like that's weird to me.
yeah,
I have experienced it.
Mhm. It is
100%. But even between mushrooms, LSD, and sleep paralysis, even with all of those things, I've never in my entire life hallucinated.
Mhm.
You know, with all that shit I've done, with all the weed I've smoked, with all the fucking
yeah,
alcohol I've drank, like I
That
have
is-
none of it
yeah,
has ever made me hallucinate anything.
yeah.
So I know
That
that when I see something,
mhm.
I'm not hallucinating.
Yeah.
It's not just me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's not. I've done all this shit to make people hallucinate, and it's never worked on me. So
yeah.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Well,
But
and it has admittedly it hasn't happened in a long time. But that is one of the few times that I can remember, because it was so weird. Like I remember snapping awake and being like, did I do that? Like, did I go out there? Did I have this conversation? Yeah. Like, what was that?
Oh yeah, no. There's definitely been dreams that I've had where like I wake up and I'm like, oh my god, did that just happen?
Yeah,
Like,
but
it was really bad.
Yeah. This felt like I physically felt myself like,
Yep.
get up.
Yep.
And what, it was, I don't know.
I know exactly what you're saying. I know
Yeah.
exactly what you're saying.
We've strayed pretty far past the Christmas stories at this point.
Oh no. Ghost stories are
Ghost
Christmas stories,
Yeah.
as far as I'm concerned.
But should probably wrap this up.
We should probably wrap this up.
I know I'm seeing the messages that are coming
I
through.
did just get one message, and they are 3 hours behind us. So for them, it's still pretty early in the night. I almost wonder if we should just like leave this open and see if they
Maybe we should because we're doing the end of the year list, but maybe we should like lump it in with the like New Year's video that we're doing, because that could be cool too. Because this I feel like
you're kind of right.
it's such a like do it like at that point like that point like it's pretty open as far as like stories and things, like,
yeah, we just have fun on the Christmas episodes.
Yeah.
Like
yeah
we were hoping like last year we did it with our family. We're definitely hoping to have more of our friends on here this episode, but we've definitely got some great ones.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
Like some true legends. Lost in the Dark legends for sure. But yeah, like we definitely have the ability, like because we're not going to record that for a little while. So if we put the word out for that now, I feel like we could make something happen, probably like quite an event, an end of the year event.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do kind of, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of feel like last year's Christmas special was better. Like,
well,
I'm not saying this was bad.
yeah
I'm just saying, like, I kind of wish we were able to do a little bit more.
Yeah.
And so, but also we didn't have the right idea in time.
yeah
And so maybe next year we use the same idea and we have more time and it's what we want it to be.
Yeah.
So
Go ahead.
I'm okay with that. I'm
Yeah.
okay with that. That's fine.
As long as you did something. So.
We did do something.
But
We did do something.
all right. Cutting back
Yeah, sure. Yeah, we did do something. But pour us up
in. May as well.
closer.
May as well.
Pour us up a closer.
Happy fucking holidays, whatever you celebrate. Merry Hanukkah, Kwanzaa,
Yep.
whatever.
Merry Metallica.
Merry, yeah.
Merry Metallica Christmas. Merry Metallica Miss.
Hope you get all you wanted.
Merry Metallica Kwanzaa.
Hope you get that.
All I'm saying is be fucking metal. No
Yeah.
matter what you celebrate. Be fucking metal.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's what matters. That's what we do here at Lost in the Dark podcast. And, you know, honestly, I think this is a pretty damn good special. We had
Yeah.
a couple call-ins.
Yeah.
We went over some crazy ghost stories.
Talked about some traditions.
Talked
Some-
about some traditions. You don't fuck with tradition.
Oh.
You don't fuck with tradition.
Mm-mm.
And all I'm gonna do, yeah. Maybe I'll get into it later, but my family is fucking with tradition this year, and I do not like it. I do not like it.
But in any
Do
case,
not like it. But
ready to wrap it up?
you know what? Yeah. No,
No?
but
No,
but
yeah, me neither.
But yeah,
Me neither.
because this is fun.
Yeah.
I'm having
Yeah,
a
yeah.
lot of fun right now.
Yeah.
And but you know what? We do still have the end of the year thing. We'll do that next week. And for the record, everyone watching this right now, we are it is officially 1:30 a.m. Christmas Eve,
Oh shit.
2021. It is officially Christmas Eve 2021. So and we started recording this a lot
Yeah, it's
earlier
been.
than that. I don't even know how long we've been going, but who fucking cares?
No.
Everyone that was a part of this episode, thank you. We love you. Everyone that was almost a part of this episode, we love you too. It's okay. We're all good, and we will get you on soon enough. We did have a couple people that were supposed to be on tonight that didn't end up making it, but that's okay because these are Crip Crew family, and we will have them back very, very soon. Maybe even for the Filthy 15 episodes. So
Ooh.
we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But
It's always a favorite.
this episode will come out like maybe Christmas Day, maybe the day after, maybe the day after that. But it'll come out very close to Christmas Day. And we hope you all had a nothing but wonderful fucking holiday.
Enjoy that shit, man.
Yeah,
Celebrate,
I hope
you know?
everybody got to be with their families
Yeah.
in a way that we haven't been able to for the last year or whatever. And you know, this I don't know. Like this time, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, these things mean a lot to me as an individual.
Same.
So
Yeah.
I just hope everybody had a great one. All of those things this year. And if you're watching this right now, that means you're watching to the end. And I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed taking the ride with us on this Christmas day. Like, so
Yeah.
we love
Hey.
you all to death. Cheers. Cheers. Have a drink with us, Crip Crew family.
whatever you got. You got that seltzer, if you got that White Claw, if you got that whiskey, whatever.
Got some fucking
Man.
water.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Take a fucking drink
Yeah,
with us.
hey.
My goodness. Woo. All right.
All right.
Thank you all so much for watching. I'm not even going to do an intro and outro for this one. So
This is the intro outro.
yeah, this is it. This is it. Crip Crew, Lost in the Dark family. From the bottom of our hearts, we wish you the most wonderful holiday season you can possibly have. We hope you see everyone that you love. And as fucking always,
I should have been up here from the start. That looks way better.
As it kind of does. As fucking always, Aaron, join me.
You know what to do.
Y'all know what the fuck to do. Raise your fucking horns and bang your goddamn heads. We love you all to death. Happy holidays. Good night. So there you have it, everyone. The 2021 Lost in the Dark Christmas special comes to a close, and it was quite a year for us, honestly. We're gonna do a lot of big kind of like look back on the Filthy 15 episode coming up next, but it really was a crazy year. It really was, in a lot of good ways too. For us at the podcast, getting to meet a lot of these people in person, finally getting to see a lot of the people that we've talked to on the show perform live for the first time, and meeting more people through everything that we've done. It's really been amazing, nothing but amazing. And so we, from the bottom of our hearts, we thank you all so much. Anybody that has supported us, been a part of the show in any way, or ever even just watched, liked, or commented on something, it blows our minds. It blows our minds every day that people are watching us at all. We don't, yeah, it's wild. So seriously, from the bottom of our hearts, we love you all so much. And thank you for an amazing year. And we got a lot cooking for 2022. So stay tuned. But I hope you all have nothing but an amazing holiday season. And we'll be back again very, very soon with our album of the year, Filthy 15 2021 list. And I'll see you there. All right. Raise your fucking horns and bang your goddamn heads. We love you all to death. Good night.